designated survivor, a member of the president's cabinet, who
How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit. It's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack 'em all? How long we not gonna make these youngers pull their pants up? How long we gonna keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gonna keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beats stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.
As this goes, I've covered a lot of these. We see members of the president's cabinet, Supreme Court justices, as well as the shot then pans up to the First Lady with the honorary guests in the gallery, of which will be Austin, the widow of Alexei Navalny, as well, who accepted President Biden's invitation after the death of her husband now almost 3 weeks ago in a Russian penal colony.
You know what I'm saying?
The
Some of my people is going to be in my chat.
Will be front and center. Also, some of these domestic priorities
we can go ahead and get
as well. Austin
Senator
Tim
let's go ahead
Scott,
and watch this state of
South Carolina today.
Onion, the old onion.
Biden
Joe Biden
start his speech with these words to the American people: "I'm sorry," and so that you can see the acrimony, the partisanship at play here. But these moments, Austin, are supposed to, somewhat bring the country together. It is the State of the Union. Some see this as a constitutional superficiality, but they happen nonetheless. We also have this shot there. All right, let's listen.
Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court.
Okay, Austin, we have members of the Supreme Court entering into the chamber here.
And I want to add one thing onto what you said about the decorum, because, and that is something that, as you mentioned, Speaker Johnson is emphasizing this time around. He said he has sent a, quote, very clear message to House members to, quote, turn the temperature down and refrain from heckling during the address. Not hearing many heckles going on right now as the Supreme Court enters, do we, Andrew?
No, and we have to bring this up because it's an election year, but the Supreme Court will be answering some of these constitutional questions later this year. Oral arguments on the presidential immunity question for former President Trump. Those arguments, that date was set just yesterday, April 25th. You see Chief Justice Roberts there and Justices Sonia Sotomayor, Kagan, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh. Also, Austin, former Justice Anthony Kennedy there as well. So it's always interesting to see who attends the speech and who doesn't. All right, you see there Speaker Johnson, Vice President Harris. Let's listen to some of the sounds on the ground. All right, and we are awaiting President Biden's State of the Union here. We're almost at the top of the hour, almost 9 o'clock there in the nation's capital. I'm here with my colleague, Austin Westfall, in the Live Now newsroom. He joins me. Austin, thanks so much. We're going to keep kind of previewing the State of the Union and what we know. We're going to keep some of these pictures live. Just wanted to reset here at the top of the hour. Let's take this yet again. All right, you see there more of these Supreme Court justices. Ketanji Brown Jackson there in the chamber as well. Austin, what do you have your eye on?
You know what? I want to ask you a question, Andrew, because you're familiar with D.C., and maybe some folks are not familiar with D.C. President Biden is en route right now from the White House to the Capitol. How far a drive is that?
It is literally under 5 minutes if you are familiar with the D.C. area. That's a good logistics question. Of course, if you're riding in the motorcade, you're not going to experience any traffic. So let's go outside the chamber.
Look at Kamala Harris raggedy ass.
All of the media standing by, and you see they're on the sides flanked with these velvet ropes, and they're probably going to get a glimpse of President Biden and the First Lady be escorted down that statuary hall, if you're familiar with the Capitol, into the House chamber, back out live to the House chamber. And you can see many of these members are seated as well here. We also, Austin.
Joe Manchin.
Oh, right. We have Joe Manchin and Mitt Romney speaking to each other. Manchin and Romney, Austin, as many of our viewers know, opting not to run for re-election, calling it quits, talking to each other there. I want to put up this photo that we have as well. This is from Deb Haaland. She's the Secretary of the Interior. I'm going to drop this. She posted somewhat of a group photo of the president's cabinet. I know we're trying to determine who the designated survivor is, but maybe we can see who's not in this picture. That will give us a good indication.
Addition by subtraction?
Yes, exactly here. But a cool kind of group selfie there with members of the president's cabinet. Let's go back into the chamber. For now, you see there former Speaker Pelosi and Steny Hoyer there. You see Jim Clyburn, members of Democratic House leadership. Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville there as well. So we are awaiting President Biden's State of the Union here. Let's continue watching.
Quick shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on, Crystal 7? What's going on, child? What's up, blind but can see clearly? You know what I'm saying? And we got plenty more people coming. So let's go ahead and enjoy the State of the Union address from Crooked Joe Biden. Yeah, let's do that. All these politicians, we got a judge that ain't took off his doggone robe. He had his robe on. All of them got their robes on like they've been to convict somebody. They ain't got no suits. Or is that what they have to do? Is that the proper decorum for State of the Union? I'm not sure.
Okay, Austin there, Austin Westfall with me here. George Santos in the chamber right there. This is significant. I don't know if our viewers just saw that. We're pointing people out here. Of course, George Santos, Austin, is no longer a member of Congress. He was expelled in December. But I was looking online, and apparently former members of the House can attend the State of the Union. So George Santos taking advantage of that opportunity there as well. Not sure where he's going to sit.
And it's a surprise appearance. We should say that. We didn't expect this. He didn't announce this. This is, and again, and this is news to you and I, that former members can, it appears, simply just show up to the State of the Union. I'm curious, have you seen Marjorie Taylor Greene yet, Andrew?
I have not. I've seen Lauren Boebert. I've seen Matt Gaetz. You see there Senator Susan Collins, who just lost her mother there at the age of 96. So we send our condolences to the Collins' family. She's speaking there with Murkowski and Senator Graham as well. So, Austin, we still have this shot there live outside of the Capitol. Okay, I want to raise the audio on this. This is a pro-Palestinian, pro-ceasefire protest. We're being told, according to the White House press pool, that this large group of people gathered on the South Portico steps overlooking this as well. Also, the press pool traveling with the president could hear the Palestinian demonstrators from the spot from the White House. So the president could hear this. We don't know if it's interrupted the travel route of the motorcade to the White House. We're a little after the top of the hour here. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe our producers can let me know if this is actually running late. I'm not entirely sure. We do have a tweet in from our friend at the Washington Examiner, Anna Giratelli. She tweets,
"Oh yeah, Joe Biden's definitely not on time. He's probably
are occupying the very route that the Secret Service plans to take Biden to the Capitol,
change.
And it's unclear if Secret Service has a different route in mind or will clear the hundreds of protesters. So we have shots here. You see there. Okay, it looks like someone is up there on the dais. Placing
maybe a
Austin.
mic check.
Maybe mic check. Placing the president's speech. There it is.
There it is, right there. That's the book. And just for some context, we want to say that the protesters, this is Reuters reporting, protesters blocked traffic in a number of areas over the State of the Union address, not just in D.C. There's also reports of blocked traffic in Boston and in Los Angeles. And there we see George Santos again. The reason why I asked about Marjorie Taylor Greene is because I'm curious to know if Marjorie is sitting next to Lauren Boebert, because that's what we saw last year.
Right. But we do know they have somewhat become estranged in their relationship, in their working friendship as well. We do, speaking of the devil, have Lauren Boebert seated next to Thomas Massey, Matt Gaetz, and Tim Burchett, Republican members of the House there as well. So just want to kind of set the scene here for us. We're going to come on camera just briefly here, introduce ourselves. I'm Andrew Kraft. This is my colleague, Austin Westfall. We'll be guiding you through some of this previewing of the State of the Union. And so we're a little bit after the top of the hour. We're still waiting for the president.
Okay,
and the
we
First
waiting
Lady, I
on.
believe,
We waiting on
arrive
Joe.
at the Capitol. You know,
Joe probably get the crib. Like, I don't wanna. I don't wanna. You can't make me. Please don't make me. Oh, you going to do this fucking address, Joe? Oh, you going? He's like, no, make me. I don't wanna.
We're learning a little bit more about this. Reuters is reporting that ahead of Biden's speech, dozens gathered near the White House. That's what we saw on our air earlier today, prompting the police to block off a nearby road. We cannot confirm if this is actually delaying the president's speech. We know the president's speech was loosely slated to start about 6 minutes ago. We see Bernie Sanders there. You know, some of these people, you know, they really do enjoy each other's company, and they take a moment like this to mingle with each other. It is a very serious event, but also, as you can tell by the looks on some of these faces, a festive event to a degree, Andrew.
Yeah, and of course, I always comment, especially when the State of the Union rolls around, it's interesting to see who's talking to who, but it's also interesting to see who's not talking to who as well. You see members of the Supreme Court, the House Democratic whip there, Jim Clyburn, speaking with Maxine Waters of California as well. You see as well some more senators, Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. Of course, one of the main storylines, Austin, out of Alabama, has been all of this back and forth about the procedure known as in vitro fertilization, and the Alabama legislature codifying that into law, signed into law by...
Hey, what's going on, sir? Noobs, how you doing tonight, man?
Not too bad. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm just sitting up here waiting on Joe Biden to fuck this shit all the way up. That's what I'm waiting on.
That's what the only reason why I'm watching it tonight.
I'm waiting on him to fuck this shit up so bad that it cannot be unfucked.
Yep, I am cracking the top of my Red Bull right now.
Man, I'm cracking the top of some other shit. But I'm here and I'm ready.
Yeah, man, I don't know how you do it every day.
You know what, man? I don't know. You do it with me every day. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, but I ain't working, man. I'm just sitting here listening and having fun. I only got to talk, occasionally.
You say dropping footage and doing all the shit that I do?
Yeah. See, for me, it's not work. It's just playtime.
Hey, man, look, I'm having fun.
Well, that's good.
And trust me, I've done some shit with a computer to make this shit look like light work. Honestly. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Hold on. Slow down. Let's see if he
would heckle Biden again this year.
Oh, there ain't nobody. Shit. I want to see if he take a spill. That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Oh, goodness. I want to see him come in and make a wrong turn.
He's like, where the hell am I?
Yeah.
Y'all told me we was going to Dairy Queen.
Yeah. This does not look like Dairy Queen.
Y'all told me I was going to get some ice cream, man. Y'all playing with me. The heck is going on? Yeah. D-Mac, what's up, man?
What's going on, my brothers? What's going on?
Hey, sorry, I'm late. Man?
As you can see, I'm slightly in rare form a little bit.
Oh, I see.
I'm waiting on this. I've been chomping at the bit. I couldn't wait to get home. I'm sitting at the job. My job bored as fuck. The only thing I do is look at people and do rounds. And then I had a little son of a bitch want to call me top flight security.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry I had to miss the last yesterday's stream. I had to get up early. I had to go sleep early. I had to get up in the morning. I'm like, damn. I said I watched the replay of that one. That one 5 hours long.
I had to tell him this is my part-time job, punk.
Yeah. We ended up BSing for a long time yesterday.
Oh man,
I see 5 hours. I'm like, it had been good.
Check it out though. I went to bed right after that, which was like at 2 something in the fucking morning.
Oh yeah,
and then I had to get up at 8 to be somewhere at 9.
Oh,
and then I had to turn around and go to work. And now I'm here again. How y'all doing? What's up?
Man,
might be
you're a real
might
one,
be
man.
absolutely fucking delirious. But did they just announce this bastard?
Oh,
Man.
there's Jill. Somebody's clapping.
Okay. Kamala, why you nervous? And now the brother.
Mr. Speaker, the president's cabinet.
That's these dudes. We'll wait a minute. I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to see, what are you going to say about the border, sir? What are you going to say about Ukraine? What are you going to say about, you've been sending money over there. Tell me something, because you're talking about the State of the Union, and bro, you've been taking care of other people's unions.
I know, right? We haven't
Ukraine
gotten
is a
jack these
mess.
4 years.
Bro, you got on television months ago talking about sending 300 some odd, what was that, $1 billion?
Billion.
To Ukraine, and you got homelessness here, and you done stopped our stimulus checks?
Bruh.
But you giving money away?
Bruh.
We can't get none of that. And that's why, and that is one of the reasons why they don't like Donald Trump, because he was giving the money back to the people. He wasn't giving it to agendas in Ukraine and stupid shit, and going to buy fucking ice cream with it.
Oh man.
Shit. It's like it's crazy, because, and you know what? This situation, and it's not even a meltdown. I've watched meltdowns over Trump. I've watched this shit where there's no coherency, there's no rhyme or reason to what they're saying. You cut the man off in the middle of talking and say, "Oh, we're just not going to let him lie, and we can anticipate just by what he's saying now that he's going to tell a lie." How the hell can you predict?
Oh, you're talking about Butch haircut on MSNBC?
Yeah, I'm talking about E. Jean Carroll's girlfriend. Or the object of her affections, or whatever the hell that shit is. Man. But I know good and damn well.
That's sad.
Every time he comes on, she'll cut him off. And now we've reviewed this over and over again. This is not a journalistic television show, because even if he's lying, you got to let him lie. But the reason why y'all don't want to give that man his just due is because if he start talking and people start listening, it's going to change their mind about him. And that's the reason why they do it. Period.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want nobody to hear the truth. That's truth suppression, if it ever was one. You're trying to suppress facts. That's it. That's all I see. There's no other way around it.
People nowadays hate the facts.
No, because facts don't. When you can create a narrative, I mean, it's so much power in that.
That part hasn't changed, though. I mean, I think the only thing that really has changed, and we talked about the whole social media thing.
Look at this. Read this. Hold on, check it out. Donald Trump says the president is very disappointed. I'm gonna go back. Because we can watch it. It's live. Shit, look at it. Okay, so we're gonna pause right here. And it says that the president is very substantially late. Not a good start, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure he had a very important thing to do, but he is just not getting into the car. They will have to drive away very quickly. You just don't want to be late to the State of the Union. They'll do a good Mario Andretti. Oh crap!
That's serious, bad. Man.
That's bad. You late. This is the only thing you had on your damn schedule all week, and you late. The hell is that?
Man.
You fired.
Man.
Why are you late to the State of the Union address? I know the Democrats are like, what the fuck?
She's smoking.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. With all due respect,
but when that good,
I hope he all right. Shit, this is insane. What is that? Where are we living? Where we at, man?
At this point, I don't even know.
It is 15
I don't even know at this
minutes.
point.
Jill, where's your dude? Where your man?
Yeah, how the hell did she get there ahead of him?
Where's your man?
Oh, I want to know.
No, because she can't see them put the battery in his back. That's what that is.
Put a battery in his back.
I thought she was the battery in his back.
I
know, right?
That wasn't keeping y'all together. Good sex, really? You gotta be kidding me, man.
And I don't even want to know what that looks like, man.
Oh God, please don't. Don't go in details, please don't.
Man, everything is hitting the fucking floor. What are they saying?
A fleet of domestically produced Gripen fighter jets, according to Reuters.
Hey, can you look up what the latest a State of the Union address started? Anybody?
Oh, yeah, I'll look it up.
Yeah, look that shit up, man, because what the fuck is this? Thanks, man. Thanks, dude. Always looking out. Jesus
Appreciate
Christ.
you, sir.
Yep, it's gone now. So that means they looking for me. My goodness. My goodness.
This is atrocious.
There his goofball ass is. There you go.
I ain't finding shows.
He's 17 minutes late.
God damn.
He's gonna take him a half hour to get to there and watch this shit. All right, we're gonna try to do some unbiased listening. This is Provoked Thoughts, and you are watching the State of the Union address of Joe Biden, or as Trump likes to say, Crooked Joe Biden. And we're going to think he's already late. Not a good start. They'll have to drive there really quickly.
Oh, yeah. You're in rep form tonight, huh? You're in rep form tonight. That voice is too perfect. It is too perfect.
Fashionably late, huh? Soil those defends, huh? But look, I had me a little accident.
Man, I got to shitting myself. Need to get clean.
Hey, they had to give him a shot of adrenaline. Take these methamphetamines.
They don't list the start and stop times. The only thing I can find that's even close to being relevant, it just shows in minutes how long they talked.
Everybody's sitting up there looking like, what the fuck, man? These Democrats.
It's like, you now finally show up 3 hours later. So we still on here?
This is some epic shit. I mean, this is right here. Just this is epic enough. How are you looking on that? Is it 15 minutes? Is it a 15-minute delay?
Oh, it seemed like to me.
That's a long ass time to be waiting on the prayers, man. And you prognosticate, you need to be running up there.
Here at Live Now from Fox, you've been watching President Biden there, kind of glad hand all of the Democrats and Republicans there as he makes his way to the podium. A lot are kind of diverting his attention away. He's somewhat already a little tardy to the speech's start here, but many know President Biden.
A little tardy, you know, damn well a little more than that.
Stay around and schmooze. Austin, I covered Biden's 2020 presidential campaign. He would stay after events and shake people's hands and talk time and time again. Okay, we see Marjorie Taylor eyes. What is she wearing, Austin?
I'm curious to see. I want them to turn the camera back to that last angle. I want to see if they interact. There we go. Let's listen. Marjorie Taylor Greene, obviously wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat. She did say on the record that she would.
I like Marjorie.
Say she did not say whether or not she would heckle Biden at this State of the Union speech. You know, if she doesn't do it verbally, Andrew, just the mere fact of wearing that bright red cap is a protest in and of itself.
Sure. And you just saw him shake the hand there of new.
Hey, that's a beautiful thing, though. I appreciate her for wearing the hat. Right there, right in Joe Biden's face. Look dead at him.
He is high as a kite right now.
Say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I like you, lady.
Quasi won that special election
Just
last
full of
month
drugs.
after Santos was expelled late
he was
last
there.
year.
It's like,
so
yeah, I'm trying to get this over with.
Yeah, he walking the magnificent mile and shit. Ain't nobody gonna these damn Democrats, man. Would y'all let this old? Would y'all let his ass get up there, please? This shit right here. Look at the back of that neck. Shit.
There's a zipper back there somewhere.
Insert.
Oh man. Exactly.
Insert. What is it? What was it? Not the biggest battery. Like what is it? You damn near hold it in your hand, but it was like a 9-volt or something. Jeez. Yeah, I think we do know over here. I'm straightforward right now. I have to start some crimes there. I have to shoot some people. Crooked Joe Biden, man.
All right.
Oh, well, look who's standing next to him. Like right behind him right now.
Oh, sweet Jesus. 4 more years. Are you going to be around 4 more years?
No, he won't.
Man. They getting
are they really sharing that bullshit?
Sometimes you don't hear that in the House chamber, Austin. You hear that at re-election rallies. Of course, speaking there with Ketanji Brown Jackson, Biden nominated Ketanji Brown Jackson.
This woman sitting there looking like, oh, man,
so
don't come near me.
There's so many of these moments that to political
4 more years.
Look at him.
Is
she with him or is she actively dodging
members
him?
of the
Looked like she
Supreme
was
Court
dodging
here,
him.
as well as he makes his way up to the dais. So we're just going to keep watching here. I'm Andrew Kraft, joined by my colleague Austin Westfall, the State of the Union there. About to get underway. They're saluting the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General.
If you don't have Truth Social, go download it now. It's going to be a hell of a night.
Lord.
We're not going to be on here 5 hours. I swear to God, we're not.
It's Nat.
You sure?
I'm almost positive.
I'm ready for it now.
Yeah,
I got better tomorrow morning, night. I got work till tomorrow night and tomorrow. So
you never know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to start giving my shit out of it in small chunks.
Trust me, your boy here. Yeah, I ain't missing this one.
Oh my God, what the heck is going on? Let me go to Truth Social. I know Trump about to talk. SHI to the Tizzle, boy. Like me and my friend Snoop Dogg. Yeah, I know. Smoke it. Let's see. I wish it was a way to stream the Truth Social, man. That'd be crazy.
I would say, hey, y'all heard the information about how they found the name of the BOP officer that was involved in giving kills information away?
Oh yes, we know definitely. We talked in depthly last night about Mr. One.
Oh, see, man, I need to go back, man. I need to go back.
Yeah, we tore that up too.
Man, I had to go to sleep. I had to go to sleep early.
Man, we were actively doing research online while we were talking about it.
Oh man. Oh, trust me, I'm watching that replay. Trust me, believe I will.
It's crazy.
Ain't gonna be a night, but one of these days I will watch that replay.
It's crazy, man.
Damn, man. Oh, mad I missed last night. Oh, man, so good. So good.
And then what's that other girl? Nissy, is that her name?
Nisi, Nisi Mo.
Nisi, yeah, she found a video that has almost been entirely scrubbed from the internet last night, and so we were pretty happy to get hold of that.
Oh wow. Yeah, see, damn.
You remember, and I know you remember the video. You remember the video of you remember the video, D-Maps, of Asante McGee and Tim Savage, and he was feeding the lions.
Oh, yeah,
I
actually remember that one.
You remember that? That's been scrubbed from the internet, man. And we broke out shovels.
Hey, y'all dug that shit. Y'all dug
it back up.
Yeah, we found a lot of places that it used to be.
Because they got to get rid of that crap. Okay, this idiot's about to talk. I'm sorry. The president's about to speak.
Oh God.
Good evening. Good evening. If I were smart, I'd go home now.
True story. The only true thing all night.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Vice President, members of Congress, my fellow Americans. In January 1941, Franklin Roosevelt came to this chamber to speak to the nation. And he said, I address you at a moment unprecedented in the history of the Union. Hitler was on the march. War was raging in Europe. President Roosevelt's purpose was to wake up Congress and alert the American people that this was no ordinary time. Freedom and democracy were under assault in the world. Tonight, I come to this same chamber to address the nation. Now, it's we who face an unprecedented moment in the history of the Union. And yes, my purpose tonight is to wake up the Congress and alert the American people that this is no ordinary moment either. Not since President Lincoln and the Civil War have freedom and democracy been under assault at home as they are today. What makes our moment rare is that freedom and democracy are under attack both at home and overseas at the very same time. Overseas, Putin of Russia is on the march, invading Ukraine and sowing chaos throughout Europe and beyond. If anybody in this room thinks Putin will stop at Ukraine, I assure you he will not. But Ukraine can stop.
Why would she just? Oh my God!
Ukraine can stop Putin.
Anybody else believe that?
With Ukraine and provide the weapons.
She had to get up again.
No, stay standing.
That is all Ukraine is asking. They're not asking for American soldiers.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on.
In fact, there are no American soldiers at war in Ukraine, and I'm determined to keep it that way. But now, assistance to Ukraine is being blocked by those who want to walk away from our world leadership.
Hell yeah, he's lying.
Wasn't long ago.
No, you're lying, bastard.
A president named Ronald Reagan thundered, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." Now.
What a homo.
I swear he loves St. James for booty.
A former Republican president tells Putin, quote, "Do whatever the hell you want."
Oh.
That's a quote. A former president actually said that, bowing down to a Russian leader. I think it's outrageous, it's dangerous, and it's unacceptable. America is a founding member of NATO, the military alliance of democratic nations, created after World War II to prevent war and keep the peace.
How's that working out?
We've made NATO stronger.
Yeah, really. Instead, they generated Cuban Missile Crisis 2 in reverse.
Get up again, come on, your knees, Carl. Thank you.
Sweden officially joined, and their minister is here tonight. I'm going to stand up.
I've got a great
Welcome.
clip of that guy. You know, they
Welcome,
just dropped his
welcome,
pants and
welcome.
spanked him in front of God and everybody.
Damn.
I want that.
Sure, I wonder if he loved it.
Mr. Prime Minister, welcome
Yeah,
to
I'll
NATO,
find
the
it for you.
strongest military alliance the world has ever seen. I say this to Congress, we have to stand up to Putin.
Yeah.
Send me a bipartisan national security bill. History is literally watching. History is watching. If the United States walks away, it will put Ukraine at risk. Europe is at risk. The free world will be at risk, emboldening others to do what they wish to do us harm. My message to President Putin, who I've known for a long time, is simple. We will not walk away. We will not bow down.
I sent it to you in private chat.
I will not bow down.
Oh God.
In a literal sense, history is watching. History is watching. Just like history watched
Please
3
tell
years
me
ago
about
on January
apologies,
6th,
sir.
when insurrectionists stormed this very Capitol and placed a dagger to the throat of American democracy.
When?
Many of you were here on that darkest of days.
When?
We all
So I'm
saw
gonna do a
with
Rachel
our own
Maddow in a
eyes
minute.
the insurrectionists were not patriots. They'd come to stop the peaceful transfer of power, to overturn the will of the people. January 6th lies about the 2020 election and the plots to steal the election.
Tell me
pose
about a
great,
policy.
gravest threat to U.S. democracy since the Civil
Donald
War.
Trump always talks
they
about the
failed.
past.
America stood.
That's all we ever talked about is the past. That's what they
America
say.
stood strong.
What was this?
Prevailed.
Oh, I want to know. What the hell are you
We
talking
must be
about?
honest. The threat to democracy must be defended. My predecessor and some of you here seek to bury the truth about January 6th. I will not do that. This is the moment to speak the truth and to bury the lies.
Look at the
Here's the
face on
simple
the
truth.
speaker.
You can't love
Exactly.
your country
He's
only
back
when
there
you
shaking
win.
his head. He's doing his best. And he won't be nearly as disrespectful as Nancy Pelosi was.
There's a Nancy Pelosi. He ain't feeling it. Look at that.
He is not feeling it at all. He
He
really
I
just
ask all of you without regard to
is.
party to
He
join
look like
together
this
and defend democracy.
motherfucker right here.
Remember your oath of office to defend against all threats, foreign and domestic. Respect free and fair elections. Restore trust in our institutions. And make clear political violence has absolutely no place in America, zero place. Again.
Definitely.
Oh, look at the
It's not
clapping
hyperbole.
fucking
Suggest
toy back
history
there,
is
man. Just
watching.
chank, chank.
We're watching. Your children and grandchildren will read about this day and what we do. History
Shoot.
is watching another assault on
Yeah, that's
freedom.
a they even making build
Joining
make
us
it
tonight
here.
is Latoya
Where it's
Beasley,
going.
social worker from
What
Birmingham,
about the border,
Alabama.
bro?
14
Man.
months ago.
He had said not one thing
14
about
months
the
ago,
border
she and her
yet.
husband
He
welcomed a
probably
baby girl
won't
thanks to
either.
the
I
miracle
think all he's
of
going to do
IVF.
is just attack the right
She
side.
scheduled treatments
Pretty
to have that
much.
second
That's all it
child.
seemed like to me.
The Alabama Supreme Court shut down IVF treatments across the state, unleashed by a Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. She was
Here we
told
go.
her dream would have to wait. What her family had got through should never have happened unless Congress acts. It could happen again. So tonight, let's stand up for families like hers. To my friends across the aisle, don't keep this waiting any longer.
That's
Guarantee
what's
the right to
important.
IVF.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Guarantee it nationwide.
Oh, there's the clapping toy again.
Great clapping to you.
Like most Americans, I believe Roe v. Wade got it right. I thank Vice President Harris for being
at
an
how much
incredible leader
crap they
defending
sprayed on her
reproductive
face
freedom.
tonight.
Oh God.
Yeah, she was
No,
crazy.
you know, yo, man, we
She
gonna do
looks
so much
like
later.
J.C.
Gonna do
Penney's
so much
mannequin
later.
right now.
My predecessor came to office determined to see Roe v. Wade overturned. He's the reason it was overturned, and he brags about it. Look at the chaos that has resulted. Joining us tonight is Kate Cox, the wife and mother from Dallas. She's become pregnant again and had a fetus of a fatal condition. Her doctor told Kate that her own life and her ability to have children in the future were at risk if she
Somebody
didn't
come
act.
give Joe a shot.
Because
it's
Texas
about to
law
happen.
banned her ability to
Look at
act.
my man. Look at the
Kate and her
screen. It's
husband
about
had
to
to
happen.
leave
Yeah,
the state
he's
to
like,
get what
this
she
dude's
needed.
about to tank.
What her family got through should have never happened as well. But
Fuses
it's
are
happening
flowing,
in too many
circuits are
others.
popping.
There are state laws banning
running
the freedom
hot.
to choose,
Running out of
criminalizing
heavy
doctors,
greens.
forcing survivors of rape and incest to leave their states to get the treatment they need. Many of you in this chamber and my
Oh, she's back
predecessor are
there just
promising to
looking at
pass a
him.
national
She's like,
ban on
oh,
reproductive
don't fuck
freedom.
this up. Don't fuck this
My
up.
God, what freedom else would you take away? Look, it's a decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court majority wrote the following.
The speaker is going to hate
With all due
himself
respect,
when he goes back and
justices,
watches this
Women
video.
are not without electoral
You can't
power.
hold it.
Nope, he can't.
Excuse
He's
me,
doing his
electoral
best.
or political
His
power.
face is red,
You're
his
about to
ears are
realize
red,
just
his
how much
cheeks
you're
are red.
right about that.
You can't hold it. You can the deep is good. I hope Joe don't fart because he gonna suck it all in.
Clearly.
It's been a few minutes since he talked about something having to do with the State of the Union.
What the?
Those bragging about overturning Roe v. Wade have no clue about the power of women. But they found out when reproductive freedom was on the ballot. We won in 2022 and 2020, and we'll win again in 2024.
No, you're not.
Uh-oh.
That's a damn lie.
Hey, everybody, get up and clap.
Yeah. Like, nah.
Oh, there she is. Why isn't she standing?
If you, the American people,
Oh, that's right. She's got
send me
a
a
she's got
Congress
an
that supports
Israel
the right
axe
to
to
choose,
grind
I
with him.
promise you, I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
You think about getting there again.
Uh-oh. What's happening here?
Folks, America cannot go back. I'm here tonight to show what I believe is the way forward, because I know how far we come. 4 years ago next week, before I came to office, the country was hit by the worst pandemic and the worst economic crisis in a century. Remember the fear, record losses? Remember the spikes in crime and the murder rate, raging virus that took more than 1 million American lives, of loved ones, millions left behind? A mental health crisis of isolation and loneliness. A president, my predecessor, failed the most basic presidential duty that he owes to American people, the duty to care. I think that's unforgivable.
Oh, I heard that.
I came to office determined to get us through one of the toughest periods in the nation's history. We have. It doesn't make news in 1,000 cities and towns.
And
The American
as soon as
people
we
are
get
writing
rid
the
of you,
greatest
we're going to
comeback
try to
story
fix what you
never
broke.
told.
You get that clapping.
I still wish there was
behind
a
you.
solution because that women already doing it
Tell us
themselves.
here and now.
Yeah.
Be honest.
They've
America's
looked over at
comeback
the
is
squad
building the future of
one
American
time tonight.
possibilities. Building an economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down. Investing in all America, in all Americans, to make sure everyone has a fair shot. We leave no one behind. The pandemic no longer controls our lives. The vaccine that saved us from COVID are now being
No, it
used to beat
didn't.
cancer, turning
That's a lie.
setback into comeback.
Yep.
That's what America
Get more
does.
people to actually save them.
That's what America does.
Okay, let's get into some real shit.
Folks, my inherited economy is on the brink. Now our economy is literally the envy of the world. 15
Oh
million
my
new jobs
God.
in just 3
Oh
years.
my
A
God.
record. A record.
Wait a minute, what?
Unemployment at 50-year lows. Record 16 million Americans are starting small businesses, and each one is a literal act of hope. With historic job growth and small business growth for Black and Hispanics and Asian Americans, 800,000
Yeah, how's
new
y'all's
manufacturing
growth?
jobs in America and counting.
Yeah.
Where is it written we can't be the manufacturing capital of the world? We are. We will.
I know mine was good enough that I decided to
More
retire.
people have health insurance today. More people have health insurance today than ever before. The racial wealth gap is as small as it's been in 20 years.
What in the fuck?
Wages keep going up. Inflation keeps coming down. Inflation has dropped from 9% to 3%, the lowest in the world, and 10 even lower. Landing will be soft. And now, instead of importing foreign products and exporting American jobs, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs right here in America, where they belong.
The OnlyFans kind of American jobs.
Yeah.
I wonder.
You know what?
And it takes time, but the American people are beginning to feel it. Consumer studies show
That's why we
consumer
want you
confidence
gone,
is
dude.
soaring. Buy America has been the law of the land since the 1930s.
It ain't
Past
your law to
administrations,
live.
including my predecessor, including
I
some
swear.
Democrats as well in the past, failed
All
to
he
buy
buys
America.
is Chinese.
Not anymore.
Can't wait to get rid of him.
On my watch,
Cannot
federal
wait to get rid of
projects
him.
that you fund, like helping build American roads,
forget.
bridges, and highways, will be made with American products and built by American workers.
You a damn lie.
A lie, he knows it.
Creating good paying American jobs.
Cause he know he ain't shit.
And thanks to our CHIPS and Science Act, the United States is investing more in research and development than ever before. During the pandemic, a shortage
Question
of
is, in what?
semiconductors, chips, that drove up the price of everything from cell phones to automobiles. And by the way, we invented those chips right here in America. Well, instead of
really?
having to import them,
And then you
instead
sold
of
them to the
private
Chinese to
companies
line your
are now
pockets.
investing billions of dollars to build new chip factories here in America, creating tens of thousands of jobs. Many of those jobs paying $100,000 a year and don't require a college degree.
You make college freaking BS, huh?
In fact, my policies have attracted $650 billion in private sector investment in clean energy, advanced manufacturing, creating tens of thousands of jobs here in America.
Hear about that? They're closing a lot of factories in my state.
And thanks to our bipartisan infrastructure law,
What happened in your state?
46,000 new projects have
Pretty
been
much
announced
that
all
damn
across
my factory,
the
the factories in
communities.
my state been letting off a
By
lot
the
of
way, I
people.
noticed some of
Yeah.
you strongly voted
I mean,
against
it's the
me.
same thing
Cheering
going
on that
everywhere
money
else because
coming
he's
in.
still shipping jobs overseas, contracts
I'm with you.
overseas.
I'm with
I
you.
wonder where they were going. Makes sense now. Cause a lot of
If any
people.
of
Cause
you
my
don't
own
want that money
cousin
in your
just got
district,
laid
just
off.
let me know.
Yeah, well, his own family,
Modernize our
a
roads
good
and bridges,
majority of
ports
their
and airports,
investments
public
are in
transit
weapons
systems.
contracts
Removing
and Chinese
poisonous lead
contracts.
pipes so
You
every
know,
child
his son was
can drink
supposedly
clean
the
water without risk
VP
of
of
brain damage.
Charisma. Give me a break. You know, so he's dirty into Chinese money, laundering money back and forth.
Providing affordable,
Same with Ukraine.
affordable high-speed internet for every American, no matter where you live.
Okay.
Urban, suburban,
That
remote
makes sense. I
communities,
wonder like what the
in
hell are
red
all these
states
layoffs
and
coming
blue
from?
states.
Now I know, now you told me all
Record
that. Okay.
investments in tribal
I see
communities.
Yeah, because the contracts that
Because
he
of my
awards are
investment in
people who
family
are,
farm.
you know, made in China or, you know, materials made in China.
Because I invested in family farms led by my
And
secretary.
so he
He knows more
sells
about this than anybody
things
I
that
know.
could be made here
We're better able to stay in
overseas
the family
so
for
that he can
those
get
farms so
kickbacks.
that
He and
the children and
his
grandchildren won't
family.
have to leave home to make a living. It's transformative.
Basically, he said, "Fuck the people." It's like,
Great
man, I do my
comeback
own
story
thing.
of Belvedere, Illinois.
That's why you don't hear
Home
no
to an auto
America
plant
first,
for nearly
nothing out of
60
this man.
years.
Nothing.
Before
I
I
see.
came to office, the plant
The
was
more you
on
know.
its way to
I
shutting
appreciate
down.
I appreciate the information, sir. I
Thousands of
really
workers
appreciate it.
feared for their
I was
I
lives.
wondering
told
what
you
it
we
was,
all got to
what
Hope
the
it
was
was.
same place,
fading.
just from different angles.
Then I was elected
Trust
to
me, I
office
was
and
say, I
we raised
wondered
the
like, what the
Belvedere
heck we going on all the
repeatedly with
layoffs in
auto
the
companies
car
knowing
companies and
unions would
everything.
make all the difference.
Hmm.
The UAW worked
Yeah,
like
I
I said
hell
one
to
week
keep
for
the
our
plant
freaking
open.
insurance
Y'all
rate
don't
our
fuck
dang
around and
Keep
get
jobs
state.
back, and
this
together we
what this man is
succeeded.
talking about.
Instead of auto factories shutting down, auto factories reopening, and new state-of-the-art battery factories being built to power
Yeah,
those
'cause you
cars.
don't need more
There at the
batteries in
same
your back.
Oh
Nobody
my
wants these fucking
goodness.
cars, man.
This guy right here,
Nobody wants them cars. They're junk.
Nobody wants this shit.
man. Exactly. Exactly. Nobody.
And
does.
then he wants to turn around and
folks at Belvedere,
chap
I said,
Elon's
instead of
rear
your
end,
town being
and
left
Elon's the only
behind,
one that can do it.
your community is moving
half
forward
assed
again.
anyway.
Because instead of watching auto jobs in the future go overseas, 4,000 union jobs with higher wages are building the future in Belvedere right here in America.
I know how we can do that. Drill, baby, drill.
Mm-hmm.
We can get more money.
Here tonight is UAW President Sean Fain.
But
a great
yeah,
friend
News,
and
I
a great
appreciate the
labor leader.
information.
Sean,
I was
where
wondering
are
where
you?
all the layoffs coming from.
Stand up.
Like, oh my God, over 100,000. Yeah, what probably one? I mean, just automotive. It was literally from tech companies and everything. I'm like, where the hell are these layoffs coming from?
Everything, the steel industry in Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
the auto
I heard about
industry
that
in
one too.
Detroit, you know,
Yeah,
all
so
of that
many.
stuff.
So
Yep.
many.
And
I
all
know
of
what's
these,
going on.
all of these
Sean,
dudes that are
I
in
was
these,
proud to be the first president to stand on the
these
picket line. And
unions,
today,
you know, they keep voting
Dawn has a
blue,
good job in her
and these blue
hometown,
folks
providing
keep
stability for
sending
her
their
family
industry
and pride
overseas.
and dignity as well.
Yeah,
Showing
hey,
once
you
again,
all see
Wall
this.
Street didn't build America. They're not
This
bad guys. They didn't build it, though. The middle class built the country, and
I was like, I
unions
appreciate
built the
that
middle
information. But
class.
trust me, it never made no sense to me. I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? Something just wasn't adding up. Nah, I know. They say there's hell all over overseas.
What is that?
What is what?
I say to the American people, when America gets knocked down, we get back up. Dignity as
All we
well.
hear is cliches.
Showing once again, Wall Street didn't build America. They're not bad guys. They didn't build it, though. The middle class built the country, and unions built the middle class.
But say how you, but funny how you say that when you try to take down the middle.
Yeah. And you hear how he's pandering to the union.
That?
Oh,
The
I don't know what
hypocrisy
that
is
is.
real. The hypocrisy is real.
Good Lord.
The freaking hypocrisy.
Yeah, and I just don't understand it. And that's why, you know, now you see Pennsylvania, which has always been a huge union state, now they're turning red.
Tonight,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
tonight,
Oh yeah.
I
They
want
are.
to talk about the
I
future
noticed
of
that.
possibilities
The whole state's been
that we
sold
can
out.
build together. A future where the days of trickle-down economics are over, and the wealthy and the biggest corporations no longer get all the tax breaks. And by the way, I understand corporations. I come from a state that has more corporations invested than every one of your states in the state of the United States combined. And I represented it for 36 years. I'm not anti-corporation.
Uh-oh, he's
But I
going
grew
off the
up
cuff.
in a home where trickle-down economics didn't put much
shit.
on my dad's kitchen table. That's why I determined to turn things around so middle class does well. When they do well, the poor go way up and the wealthy still do very well. We all do well. And there's more to do to make sure you're feeling the benefits of all we're doing. Americans pay more for prescription drugs than anywhere in the world. It's
Order.
wrong,
I want to
and
hear
I'm
Dr.
ending it.
Order.
Yeah, said no. One thing is very yeah. So by the time you said something about that, we all three of us gonna be in the grave.
He's gonna be like his Trump calling and we
Well,
gonna
I
leave.
proposed and signed. Not one of you Republican buddies voted for it. We finally beat Big Pharma. Instead of paying $400 a month or thereabouts for insulin with diabetes, and it only costs $10 to make, they only get paid $35 a month now and still make a healthy profit. And I want to. But what to do next? I want to cap the cost of insulin $35 a month for every American who needs it. Everyone. For
What did you
years,
say?
people have talked about it, but finally we got it done and gave Medicare the power to negotiate lower prices on prescription drugs, just like the VA is able to do for veterans.
Oh really?
That's not just saving seniors money, it's saving taxpayers money. We cut the federal deficit by $160 billion.
Bernie.
Oh, my goodness.
Because
Not
we
Bernie.
have to pay those exorbitant prices to Big Pharma. This year, Medicare is negotiating lower prices for some of the costliest drugs on the market that treat everything from heart disease to arthritis. It's now time to
The
go
fact
further and give
checkers,
Medicare the
their
power
little
to
heads are
negotiate
just
lower prices
spinning around
for
right now.
500 different drugs
Exactly.
over the next decade.
Exactly.
I need to see what Trump does, right?
They're making a lot of money, guys. And they'll still be extremely profitable.
But Truth Social won't
Will
lower
not
it
only
because
save lives, it will save
you know,
taxpayers another $200
broken
billion.
with all that sugar, man.
Starting next year, the same law caps total prescription drug costs for seniors on Medicare at $2,000 a year, even for expensive cancer drugs that cost $10,000, $12,000, $15,000. I want to cap prescription drug costs at $2,000 a year for everyone. Folks,
hey, Trump,
I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, but
on
anyone to
Truth
get in the Air
Social,
Force One,
Trump
they fly to
said
Toronto, Berlin.
he's trying to figure out how banning abortion will lead to people getting abortions illegally, but banning guns will lead to ending gun crimes.
Right.
Oh boy.
How? That don't make no sense. Say nothing comes out when you move your lips, just a bunch of gibberish.
But you dress none of that, man, by my dress.
What do you say?
The one from that, what?
What do you say?
The
What?
Affordable Care Act, the old Obamacare, it's still a very big deal.
Obamacare. I remember when I was in high school. When I was in high school and shit, and the older students was going crazy.
But my predecessor,
Through all
many
way.
in this chamber want
He
to take
became
this
president.
prescription drug away by repealing Affordable Care Act.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to let that happen. We stopped you 50 times before we will stop you again. In fact, I'm not only protecting it, I'm expanding it. They enacted tax credits of $800 per person per year, reduce health care costs for millions of working families. That tax credit expires next year. I want to make that savings permanent. To state the obvious, women are more than half our population, but research on women's health has always been underfunded. That's why we're launching the
most of them
first
are
ever
third or
White House
fourth.
initiative on women's health research, led by Jill, doing an incredible job as First Lady.
At least he remembered her name.
What? It's a miracle.
We'll pass my plan for $12 billion to transfer women's health research and benefit millions of lives all across America. I know the cost of housing is so important to
Your
you.
son said nothing about this wall yet.
Inflation keeps coming down, mortgage rates will come down as well. And the Fed acknowledges that.
Yeah.
But I'm not waiting.
Who knows when that's
I
gonna
want to
happen?
provide an annual tax credit that will give Americans $400 a month for the next 2
You know what's
years
crazy?
as mortgage rates come down.
There's so
To
many
put toward
Americans
their mortgages when they buy their first
that
home,
listening to this right now
or trade
and
up
saying
for a little
the
more
same damn
space.
thing we saying.
just for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my administration is also eliminating title insurance on federally backed mortgages. When you refinance your home, you can save $1,000 or more as a consequence. For millions of renters, we're cracking down on big landlords who use antitrust law, who break antitrust laws by price fixing and driving up rents. We've cut red tape so builders can get federally financing, which is already helping build a record 1.7 million new housing units nationwide.
Yeah, he ain't gonna make it.
For immigrants.
Now pass and build and renovate 2 million affordable homes and bring those rents down. To remain the strongest economy in the world, we need to have the best education system in the world.
Oh, God.
A little late for that. They're teaching freaking LGBTQ in elementary schools. Why?
I want to
don't
give
know.
every child, a good start by providing access to preschool for 3 and 4 years old. You know, I think I pointed out last year.
That's the only thing you can say is what you made me think.
I think I pointed out last year that children coming from broken homes where there's no books, they're not read to, not spoken to very often, start school, kindergarten or first grade, having heard 1 million fewer words spoken. Well, studies show that children who go to preschool are nearly 50% more likely to finish high school, go on to earn a 2- and 4-year degree, no matter what their background is. I met a year and a half ago with the leaders of the Business Roundtable. They were mad that they were angry. I said, well, they were discussing why I wanted to spend money on education. I pointed out to them as vice president, I met with over 182 of those folks. Don't hold me to the exact number. And I asked them what they need most, the CEOs. And you've had the same experience on both sides of the aisle. They say a better educated workforce, right? So I looked at them and I say, I come from Delaware. DuPont used to be the 8th largest corporation in the world. And every new enterprise they bought, they educated the workforce to that enterprise. But none of you do that anymore. Why are you angry with me providing you the opportunity for the best educated workforce in the world? And they all looked at me and said, I think you're right. I want to expand high quality tutoring and summer learning to see that every child learns to read by 3rd grade. I'm also connecting local businesses and high schools so students get hands-on experience and a path to good paying job, whether or not they go to college. And I want to make sure the college is more affordable.
You can't even find a way to get people into
Let's
the
continue
military.
increasing the path of working in middle-class
voice
families and increase record investments
manufactured
in
like he's actually one label.
HBCUs and minority-serving institutions, including Hispanic
Like, speak louder here.
Come on, man.
Talk like here.
When I was told I couldn't universally just change the way in which we dealt with student loans, I fixed 2 student loan programs that already existed to reduce the burden of student debt for nearly 4 million Americans, including nurses, firefighters, and others in public service. Like Keenan Jones.
How many standing ovations have you given this man?
Who's here with us tonight? Keenan,
Man.
where are you?
Everyone she can.
Keenan, thank you.
She's
He's
told to
educated
do.
hundreds of students so they can go to college. Now he's able to help after debt forgiveness get his own daughter to college.
She's the one that tells all the. She's the one that tells all the drones in the audience to stand.
The border. If he don't talk about this border, he's fucked
Are
up.
now able to buy a home, start a business, start a family. While we're at it, I want to give public school teachers a raise.
Oh, wow. Now you're doing my public school teachers.
Every time that man gives away $1, it makes $1 that you got worth less.
Yep.
And by the way, the first couple of years, we cut the deficit. Now, let me speak to the question of fundamental fairness for all Americans. I've been delivering real results in fiscally responsible ways. We've already cut the federal deficit. We've already cut the federal deficit over $1 trillion.
That's a lie.
You lie. You know. Okay, I'm going to want to speak right now.
In the next decade. It's my goal to cut the federal deficit another $3 trillion by making big corporations and very wealthy finally beginning to pay their fair share.
Yeah, not really. They were laying people off left and right.
But when Donald Trump is talking about NATO paying their fair share, he's wrong.
I'm a capitalist. You want to make or can make $1 million or millions of bucks, that's great. Just pay your fair share in taxes.
Man. You know, I'm going to be talking
A fair tax code. It's how we invest things to make this country great.
Take a majority of my money.
So much more.
How much of
Here's
did
the
he
deal.
pay in
The
taxes
last administration
on that $10
enacted
million
a
from
$2 trillion
Burisma?
tax cut.
Yeah,
Overwhelmingly
much.
benefit the topping 1%, the very wealthy, the biggest corporation, and exploded the federal deficit.
Oh boy.
They added more to the national debt than any presidential term in American history.
Here you go.
Check the numbers. Folks at home, does anybody really think the tax code is fair? Do you really think the wealthy and big corporations need another $2 trillion tax break? I sure don't. I'm going to keep fighting like hell to make it fair. Under my plan, nobody earning less than $400,000 a year will pay additional penny in federal taxes. Nobody, not one penny. They haven't yet.
Have to ask some old lady to get that kind of money.
The child tax credit I passed during the pandemic cut taxes for millions of working families and cut child poverty in half. Restore that child tax credit. No child should go hungry in this country. The way to make the tax code fair is to make big corporations and the very wealthy begin to pay their fair share. Remember in 2020, 55 of the biggest companies in America made $40 billion and paid zero in federal income tax. Zero. Not anymore. Thanks to the law I wrote and we signed, big companies have to pay a minimum of 15%. But that's still less than working people pay in federal taxes. It's time to raise corporate minimum tax to at least 21%. So every big corporation finally begins to pay their fair share.
Oh boy.
Also on end tax breaks for big pharma, big oil, private jets, massive executive pay. When
That's pretty much what we're watching.
$1 million, it could be deducted.
Let's go stream.
They can pay him $20 million if they
We
want to deduct $1
say the
million.
Kamala Harris is
End
me.
it now. You know, there are 1,000 billionaires in America. You know what the average federal tax is for those billionaires? No. They're making great sacrifices, 8.2%. That's far less than the vast majority of Americans pay. No billionaire should pay a lower federal tax rate than a teacher, a sanitation worker, or a nurse.
Yeah. You just
So I get it. Kamala Harris is like, you know how they have like that.
Minimum tax for billionaires of 25%,
Yeah,
just
she's the
25%.
sign.
You know what that would
She's the
raise?
fall sign.
That would raise
Can I hear?
$500 billion over the next 10 years. And imagine what they could do for America. Imagine a future with affordable child care. Millions of families can get they need to go to work to help grow the economy.
And then she's
Imagine
got
the
to
future
stand
with
up
paid
there and
leave.
glare
Because no one
sideways
should
at
have
the
to
ones
choose
that aren't
between
standing.
working and taking care of their sick family member.
Kamala Harris is me.
Imagine the future of home care and elder care. And people living with disabilities so they can stay in their homes and family caregivers can finally get the pay they deserve. Tonight, let's all agree once again to stand up for seniors.
Kamala Harris agrees to stand up
Many of my
anything.
friends
I said
on the other
this.
side, I will stop you.
Oh God.
The working people,
These
the
people are
working
getting
people
a
who built
workout.
this country pay more into Social Security than millionaires and billionaires do. It's not fair. We have two ways to go. Republicans can cut Social Security and give more tax breaks to the wealthy. That's the proposal. Oh no, you guys don't want another $2 trillion tax cut? I kind of thought that's what your plan was.
Throw his ass off.
Well, you're not going to cut another $2 trillion for the super wealthy. That's good to hear.
Nobody said that shit,
I'll
goofball.
protect and strengthen Social Security and make the wealthy pay their fair share.
Hold on, let me get my stopwatch out on this shit.
Oh, boy.
Raise prices to pad their profits.
Say Kamala Harris
Charging
D's. I
more
just
and
noticed
more
the
for
title,
less and
Jen.
less. That's why we're cracking down on corporations that engage in price gouging and deceptive pricing, from food to healthcare to housing. In fact, the snack companies think you won't notice if they change the size of the bag and put a hell of a lot
We've
fewer.
been talking about
Same size bag. Fewer chips. No, I'm not joking. It's called swing placement.
It's good
Pass
old
Bobby
Joe
Casey's
Biden.
bill and stop this.
I don't know if y'all can hear this or not.
I can hear you.
You hear that rain?
What was that?
Probably all saw that
We're getting
commercial on
pounded by
Snickers
rain right now.
bars.
Oh, wow.
And you get charged the same amount.
God crying
you know,
about the State of the
10% fewer
Union.
Snickers.
Oh boy.
Look, I'm also getting rid of junk fees. Those hidden fees at the end of your bill that are there without your knowledge. My administration announced we're cutting credit card late fees from $32 to $8.
Oh, really?
Banks and credit card companies are allowed to charge what it costs them to instigate the collection.
She angry
And
because they
that's
told
more a
her
hell
to
of a
stand
lot
up every
like
time he make a
$8.30
point.
something.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
That's
Credit
why
card
so
companies don't like it.
her fucking knees
But I'm
hurt.
saving American families
Man, I'm too old for
$20
this.
billion a year with all the junk fees I'm eliminating.
You ain't that old, Camilla. You ain't that
Folks
old.
at
You still
home,
do it. You can do it.
that's why the banks are so mad. It's $1 billion in profit.
What the? Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. See, sometimes we have to cut the feed because we don't want to hear the
total
lies.
price up front,
Yeah.
so there
I
are no
agree.
surprises. It matters.
No, listen.
It matters.
All right,
And
Rachel.
so does this. In November, my team began serious negotiations with a bipartisan group of senators. The result was a bipartisan bill with the toughest set of border
It is.
security
This is
reforms
definitely
we've ever
weird.
seen. Oh, you don't think so? Oh, you don't like that bill, huh? That conservatives got together and said it was a good bill? I'll be darned. That's amazing. That bipartisan bill would hire 1,500 more security agents and officers, 100 more immigration judges to help tackle the backload of 2 million cases, 4,300 more asylum officers, and new policies so they can resolve cases in 6 months instead of 6 years now. What do you get?
Who's that guy? I don't know who that guy is. That's twice I looked at him.
100 more high-tech drug detection machines to significantly increase the ability to screen and stop vehicles smuggling fentanyl into America. That's killing thousands of children.
At your border.
This would save lives and bring order to the border. It will also give me and any new president new emergency authority to temporarily shut down the border when the number of migrants at the border is overwhelming. The Border Patrol Union has endorsed this bill. The Federal Chamber of Commerce is
Trump won't watch. You gonna blame
saying
Trump?
no. Look at the facts.
Oh no, it was a garbage bill. He wanted to legalize like 30,000 immigrants.
You know how to read.
He's about to blame Trump.
under this bill.
Just build the damn wall. That's it.
I believe that given the opportunity for a majority in
And
the House
the
and Senate,
limits that they were
would
trying to
endorse the
get to
bill as
actually
well.
close the
Majority
border
right now.
were
But
astronomical.
unfortunately, politics has derailed this
blame
bill so
Trump.
far. I'm
gonna
told my
blame him.
predecessor called members of
Yeah,
Congress.
he
and the
thinks
Senate
everybody's
to demand
stupid.
They blocked the
He's
bill.
blaming them.
He feels political win. He viewed it as be a political win for me and a political
He's
loser for him.
shit.
Man,
It's not about him. It's
come
not
on,
about
man.
me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Yes, Marjorie. Yes. Yes. Liar.
Fire,
Lincoln.
pants on fire.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look, if we
You let them
change the
have it.
dynamic at the border, people pay these smugglers $8,000 to get across the border because they know if they get by and let into the country, it's 6 to 8 years before they have a hearing. And it's worth it taking the chance of the $8,000.
Look at this shit. Look at my man back there.
But if it's
Look at my
only
man
6
back there.
months, 6 weeks, the idea is it's highly unlikely that people will pay that money and come all that way, knowing that they'll be able to be kicked out quickly. Folks, I would respectfully suggest my Republican friends owe it to the American people, get this bill done. We need to act now.
And Ben did that.
And if my predecessor is watching, instead of paying politics and pressuring members of Congress to block the bill, join me in telling the Congress to pass it. We can do it together.
Nope.
But that's what he apparently here's what he will not do. I will not demonize immigrants saying they are poison in the blood of our country.
They're not immigrants.
I will not separate families. I will not.
This guy trying to stuff them dumbass words back down your throat.
Unlike my predecessor on my first day in office, I introduced a comprehensive bill to fix our immigration system. Take a look at it. It has all these and more. Secure the border. Provide a pathway to citizenship for dreamers, and so much more. But unlike my predecessor, I know who we are as Americans. We're the only nation in the world with a heart and soul that draws from old and new. Home to Native Americans, whose ancestors have been here for thousands of years. Home to people of every place, from every place on earth. They came freely. Some came in chains. Some came when famine struck, like my ancestral family in Ireland. Some to flee persecution, to chase dreams that are impossible anywhere but here in America. That's America. And we all come from somewhere, but we're all Americans.
Get Lewis trying to kill them words down his throat.
Look, folks, we have a simple choice. We can
I'm
fight
not- I'm getting
about
upset.
fixing the border, or we can
Yeah.
fix it.
So much BS.
I'm ready to fix it.
We
Send
got
me the
men
border
watching
bill
the
now.
state of Kamala Harris's news.
No.
A transformational moment in history happened 59 years ago today in Selma, Alabama. Hundreds of foot soldiers for justice marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, named after the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, to claim their fundamental right to vote. They were beaten.
My bad, Ron. You got it.
I'm over the end.
Doesn't matter. He ain't talking about shit.
Joining us tonight
Yeah.
are other marchers, both in the gallery and on the floor, including Betty Mae Fikes, known as the voice of Selma, the daughter of gospel singers and preachers. She sang songs of prayer and protest on that bloody Sunday to help shake the nation's conscience. 5 months later, the Voting Rights Act passed and was signed into law.
And now y'all trying to keep people from voting for who they want to vote for.
Thank you. Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
What does that got to do? You see them breeze past the border, man. My God.
59 years later, our forces taking us back in time. Voter suppression, election subversion, unlimited dark money, extreme gerrymandering. John Lewis is a great friend to many of us here. But if you truly want to honor him and all the heroes who marched with him, then it's time to do more than talk.
Boy, he
Pass the
Mike
Freedom to
Johnson,
Vote
man,
Act.
my man that really
The
wanted
John
to
Lewis Voting Rights Act.
He's damn right.
And stop denying another core value of
Hey, man,
America.
man, y'all coming in, make sure
Our
y'all hit that
diversity
like button. Make sure y'all
across
sharing
American
and
life.
subscribing.
Banning books, it's wrong. Instead of erasing history, let's make history. I want to protect fundamental rights. Pass the Equality Act. And my message to transgender Americans, I have your back. Pass the PRO Act for workers' rights. Raise the federal minimum wage, because every worker has a right to a decent living more than $7 an hour. We're also making history by confronting the climate crisis, not denying it. I don't think any of you think there's no longer a climate crisis. At least I hope you don't. I'm taking the most significant action ever on climate in the history of the world. I'm cutting our carbon emissions in half by 2030, creating tens of thousands of clean energy jobs, like the IBW work is building and installing 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations.
That's that bullshit.
Conserving
That's that shit I know.
30% of America's lands and waters by 2030.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of them popping up, especially by
Taking
grocery
action
stores.
on environmental justice, fence line communities smothered by the legacy of pollution. In pattern after the Peace Corps and America Corps, I launched the Climate Corps to put 20,000 young people to work in the forefront of our clean energy future. I'll triple that number in a decade.
Get be done clapping. I see that.
Like, he's over than that.
Oh, they clapping over with.
Oh man. Oh man.
All Americans deserve the freedom to be safe.
Can I go?
And America is safer today.
At this point, like I'm
Year
over
before I
it.
took office, murder rates went up 30%. 30% they went up. The biggest increase in history. It was then, through my American Rescue Plan, which every American voted against, I might add, we made the largest investment in public safety ever. Last year, the murder rate saw the sharpest decrease in history. Violent crime fell to one of its lowest levels in more than 50 years. But we have more to do. We have to help cities invest in more community police officers.
That dude look like he
more
want to throw
mental
up,
health
man.
workers.
Exactly.
Community
He's
violence
over.
preventers.
He's over.
Give
Yeah, I'm over
communities the
this.
tool to crack down on gun
Time to go
crime,
home, yeah.
retail crime, and carjacking. Keep building trust, as I've been doing by taking executive action on police reform and calling for it to be the law of the land. Directing my cabinet to review the federal classification of marijuana and expunging thousands of convictions for the mere possession, because no one should be jailed for simply using or have it on their record.
Man.
Take on crimes of domestic violence. I'm ramping up the federal enforcement of the Violence Against Women Act that I proudly wrote when I was a senator, so we can finally end the scourge against women in America.
Man, y'all know what we watching.
There are other kinds of
Baby,
violence
come
that
on
want to
here.
stop. With us tonight is Jasmine, whose 9-year-old sister Jackie was murdered with 21 classmates and teachers in an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. Very soon after that happened, Jill and I went to Uvalde for a couple of days. We spent hours and hours with each of the families. We heard their message, so everyone in this room, in this chamber, could hear the same message. The constant refrain, and I was there for hours meeting with every family. They said, do something. Do something. Well, I did do something by establishing the first ever Office of Gun Violence Prevention in the White House, that the Vice President is leading the charge. Thank you for doing it. Meanwhile, my predecessor told the NRA he's proud he did nothing on guns when he was president. Oh. After another shooting in Iowa recently, he said, when asked what to do about it, he said, just get over it. There's his quote, just get over it. I say, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm proud we beat the NRA when I signed most significant gun safety law in nearly 30 years because of this Congress. We now must beat the NRA again. I'm demanding a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. Pass universal background checks. None of this. I taught the Second Amendment for 12 years. None of this violates the Second Amendment or vilifies responsible gun owners. You know, as we manage challenges at home, we're also managing crises abroad, including in the Middle East. I know the last 5 months have been gut-wrenching for so many people, for the Israeli people, for the Palestinian people, and so many here in America. This crisis began on October 7th with a massacre by a terrorist group called Hamas, as you all know. 1,200 innocent people, women and girls, men and boys, slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. And 250 hostages taken. Here in this chamber tonight are families whose loved ones are still being held by Hamas. I pledge to all the families that we will not rest until we bring every one of your loved ones home. We also work around the clock to bring home Evan and Paul, Americans being unjustly detained by the Russians and others around the world. Israel has the right to go after Hamas. Hamas ended this conflict by releasing hostages, laying down arms, could end it by releasing the hostages, laying down arms, and surrendering those responsible for October 7th. But Israel has Israel has a added burden because Hamas hides and operates among the civilian population like cowards under hospitals, daycare centers, and all the like. Israel also has a fundamental responsibility, though, to protect innocent civilians in Gaza. This war has taken a greater toll on innocent civilians than all previous wars in Gaza combined. More than 30,000 Palestinians have been killed, most of whom are not Hamas. Thousands and thousands of innocent women and children, girls and boys, also orphaned. Nearly 2 million more Palestinians under bombardment or displacement. Homes destroyed, neighborhoods in rubble, cities in ruin. Families without food, water, medicine. It's heartbreaking. I've been working nonstop to establish an immediate ceasefire that would last for 6 weeks to get all the prisoners released, all the hostages released, to get the hostages home and ease the intolerable and humanitarian crisis and build toward an enduring, something more enduring. The United States has been leading international efforts to get more humanitarian assistance to Gaza. Tonight, I'm directing the U.S. military to lead an emergency mission to establish a temporary pier in the Mediterranean on the coast of Gaza that can receive large shipments carrying food, water, medicine, and temporary shelters. No U.S. boots will be on the ground. A temporary pier will enable a massive increase in the amount of humanitarian assistance getting into Gaza every day. And Israel must do its part. Israel must allow more aid into Gaza to ensure humanitarian workers aren't caught in the crossfire. They're announcing they're going to have a crossing in northern Gaza. For the leadership of Israel, I say this: humanitarian assistance cannot be a secondary consideration or a bargaining chip. Protecting and saving innocent lives has to be a priority. As we look to the future, the only real solution to the situation is a two-state solution over time. And I say this as a lifelong supporter of Israel. My entire career, no one has a stronger record with Israel than I do. I challenge any of you here. I'm the only American president of Israel in wartime. But there is no other path that guarantees Israel's security and democracy. There is no other path that guarantees that Palestinians can live in peace with peace and dignity. There's no other path that guarantees peace between Israel and all of its neighbors including Saudi Arabia, with whom I'm talking. Creating stability in the Middle East also means containing the threat posed by Iran. That's why I built a coalition of more than a dozen countries to defend international shipping and freedom of navigation in the Red Sea. I've ordered strikes to degrade the Houthi capability and defend U.S. forces in the region. As Commander-in-Chief, I will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people and our military personnel. For years, I've heard many of my Republican and Democratic friends say that China is on the rise and America's falling behind. They've got it backwards. I've been saying it for over 4 years, even when I wasn't president. America's rising. We have the best economy in the world. And since I've come to office, our GDP is up, our trade deficit with China is down to the lowest point in over a decade. And we're standing up against China's unfair economic practices. We're standing up for peace and stability across the Taiwan Straits. I've revitalized our partnership and alliance in the Pacific. India, Australia, Japan, South Korea, Pacific Islands. I've made sure that the most advanced American technologies can't be used in China, not allowing to trade them there. Frankly, for all this tough talk on China, it never occurred to my predecessor to do any of that. I want competition with China, not conflict. And we're in a stronger position to win the conflict of the 21st century against China than anyone else, for that matter, than any time as well. Here at home, I've signed over 400 bipartisan bills. There's more to pass my unity agenda. Strengthen penalties on fentanyl trafficking. You don't want to do that, huh? Pass bipartisan privacy legislation to protect our children online. Harness.
Joe Biden's bad time.
I swear, man, I'm so over this.
It's past his bedtime.
Oh, it literally is.
Our truly sacred obligation.
Yeah, no late for him.
They made him start. They made him hit the house. For about 5 lines when he came out there.
And when they don't.
So yes,
my man is speaking back here.
I saw him supporting help from Dennis and the VA. I signed the PACT Act, one of the most significant laws ever, helping millions of veterans exposed to toxins who now are battling more than 100 different cancers. Many of them don't come home, but we owe them and their families support. We owe it to ourselves to keep supporting our new health research agency called ARPA-H, and remind us that we can do big things, like end cancer as we know it, and we will.
Thank you for supporting this channel. As I grow, we all grow. The content gets better. I promise you.
Let me close with this. Yay.
Thank God.
I know you don't want to hear any more, Lindsay, but I got to say a few more things. I know it may not look like it, but I've been around a while. When you get to be my age, certain things become clearer than ever. I know the American story. Again and again, I've seen the contest between competing forces in the battle for the soul of our nation. Between those who want to pull America back to the past and those who want to move America to the future. My lifetime has taught me to embrace freedom and democracy, a future based on core values that have defined America: honesty, decency, dignity, equality, to respect everyone, to give everyone a fair shot, to give hate no safe harbor. Now, other people my age see it differently. The American story of resentment, revenge, and retribution, that's not me. I was born amid World War II, when America stood for the freedom of the world. I grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, among working class people who built this country. I watched in horror as two of my heroes, like many of you did, Dr. King and Bobby Kennedy, were assassinated. And their legacies inspired me to pursue a career in service. I left the law firm, became a public defender because my city of Wilmington was the only city in America occupied by the National Guard after Dr. King was assassinated because of the riots. And I became a county councilman almost by accident. I got elected to the United States Senate when I had no intention of running at age 29. Then vice president, or our first black president. Now president to the first women vice president. In my career, I've been told I was too young. By the way, they didn't let me on the Senate elevators for votes sometimes.
Damn, his eyes ain't got all bucked and shit. What the hell happened?
I've been told I'm too old.
He ain't reading no more.
Exactly.
Whether young or old, I've always known what endures. I've known our North Star. The very idea of America is that we're all created equal.
I ain't reading again.
Deserves to be treated equally throughout our lives. We've never fully lived up to that idea. But we've never walked away from it either. And I won't walk away from it now. I'm optimistic. I really am. I'm optimistic, Nancy. My fellow Americans, the issue facing our nation isn't how old we are. It's how old are our ideas. Hate, anger, revenge, retribution are the oldest of ideas. But you can't lead America with ancient ideas that only take us back. You lead America, the land of possibilities. You need a vision for the future and what can and should be done. Tonight you've heard mine.
No, we haven't.
I see a future where defending democracy, you don't diminish it. I see a future where we restore the right to choose and protect our freedoms, not take them away.
This guy right here, man. I swear.
I see a future where the middle class finally has a fair shot and the wealthy have to pay their fair share in taxes. I see a future where we save the planet from the climate crisis and our country from gun violence. Above all, I see a future for all Americans. I see a country for all Americans. And I will always be president for all Americans because I believe in America. I believe in you, the American people. You're the reason we've never been more optimistic about our future than I am now. So let's build the future together. Let's remember who we are. We are the United States of America. And there is nothing beyond our capacity when we act together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, there you have it.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm officially dumber now.
I swear. I swear.
I felt my shit drop. I'm like, oh shit, I'm stupider now.
The longer I listen to this, the more dumber I get.
I did it for you guys, man. Noobs checked out on us. Noobs, where you at, baby?
Yeah, he disappeared. Look at him.
Said, F this.
I should have followed his motto, but I ain't want to leave you alone, man. I couldn't leave my guy alone, leave my uncle alone. I couldn't do it.
G. That's
I survived it with you, man. We survived it.
Oh my goodness, man! Oh my, that was almost. You know what? That was close to being nauseating, man.
Oh God, I wanted to throw up so many times. I'm like, what about it? Have you said anything about the
whole? And he didn't mention it before a minute, and then when old girl Marjorie got on that ass, he didn't even mention the girl's name, and he breezed over that.
Oh God. Oh boy. We can't let him become president again. We can't. But I don't think it's gonna happen anyway. In these 4 years, he ain't do nothing. Trump. He ain't coming president again. I doubt it.
I promise, man. Let's go ahead and listen into some of the commentary that they give.
His agenda. Many are saying online it sounded somewhat like a campaign speech, that there were many partisan elements to it. Chance of 4 more years by members of the House and Senate on the Democratic side. There he's shaking the hands of Bernie Sanders, of course, his one-time competitor for the presidency, as he exits the chamber. Now you know President Biden is known to talk to people for a while, shake their hands, take pictures with them. You see there as well Raphael Warnock from Georgia. I just want to show you guys this really cool vantage point. It was from the very ceiling. We just lost it, actually. I apologize there. Let's keep listening.
By the way, I've been in constant contact with them. Here's what I worry about. If we pull away, the rest of Europe's going to
Okay, so we're about to start some of our analysis here of what you just watched, of what you just heard. But
Please
before
help
we
me.
do that,
Help.
I don't want to miss any of these.
Oh my God! Why? Why?
The president has there.
At this point, I need therapy, man.
With Democratic members of the House talking about Ukraine, that member with Ukrainian colors draped around him. Gregory Meeks, the Democrat from New York, the ranking member on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Let's keep listening.
No, really. Thank you, sir.
And this guy with you does
Henry
too.
Cuellar right there.
It was amazing. You did a good job. You were right on. Yeah.
Jerry Nadler.
Fire. You were on fire.
Nobody's going to talk about cognitive impairment now.
Yeah. You were on fire.
I kind of wish sometimes there was cognitive impairment.
Or you see there, Texas Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar, of course, border security, the crisis down there, immigration, a key feature of President Biden's remarks. We'll get into that in just a moment. This was raucous. This was rowdy. There were interruptions. There were moments when President Biden and especially some House Republicans were going back and forth on a whole host of topics and issues. And so this was one of the most raucous and rowdiest State of the Unions I have seen. I've covered several of them. We have more of these members of the Senate and the House there, of course. Pat Leahy, who is, of course, no longer a senator from Vermont, the senator emeritus. Let's keep listening. You also see Adam Schiff there. Adam Schiff coming in first place in the California Senate primary just on Tuesday night for Super Tuesday. Let's keep listening.
My goodness. So, like I said, this is the end of the State of the Union address where Joe Biden is literally out here schmoozing and rubbing elbows with his minions.
Oh Lord, it's the minions.
His minions. Oh my goodness, bro! This dude right here, man. Oh yeah, man, y'all better put that man in the bed. Oh, you need to have several seats. She's gonna bust out laughing in a minute. You know, she love to get a good cackle in.
Oh, of course, got to.
Sheesh. No more years. No more years.
And no more years. Trust me, he ain't getting no more. He ain't no more. I don't think so. I doubt it. So he ain't redo nothing these 4 years he was in office. He ain't getting no more.
No more years. No more years. Jesus Christ.
Man.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man. I'm like, it's killing me. Idiocracy. This is what we live in idiocracy and shit. This motherfucker he's trying to take away a natural resource and give us electric cars like that motherfucker was putting energy drinks on fucking plants thinking that the shit would grow.
Oh man. He said, man, put some of this 5-hour energy in here. No, mix it with some Red Bull. See what happens.
I know the Speaker of the House is about to go have a shot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's I need me a drink. I made sure it's
Somebody need to get him in the interview room like right now. Like what was on your mind when you was back there listening to that bullshit? I mean that State of the Union address. What was on your mind? What was you thinking?
The look on his face said it all. Like, Lord have mercy. What the hell is this?
What in the HE double hockey sticks
is going on?
Oh,
where are we going with this? Where are we going with this?
It is somewhat chaotic in the chamber. I have been there during the State of the Union. It is a world of moving parts, lots of people talking, yelling. It's but what I would say about tonight's speech was that it was about as partisan a speech as I have seen in a number of years. It was more like a political rally. And Andrew, it reminds me of a couple of comments by two of the Supreme Court justices who said that they really don't like attending these State of the Union addresses, including Alito, who doesn't, because they've become nothing more than a political pep rally. And they feel like potted plants, is one of their comments. So what you saw tonight were a bunch of people in the arena, as it were, wearing buttons and colors and things like that. It had all the makings of a college or high school rivalry game where people are going back and forth shouting. And in fact, it somewhat reminded me of the Parliament in the UK or in England, where it's customary to yell at other people during their speeches. And so tonight, a real political speech, and that's what we saw.
Brian, I have to echo those sentiments because I've covered several of these State of the Union addresses, and the partisan nature, the feel of a re-election rally in the House chamber, I think you can't deny. And that's not, that's not an opinion to say that. Chance of 4 more years in a State of the Union, I have not ever seen that. Democrats having that chant multiple times. And, you and I have talked on Super Tuesday, Brian, that this was a moment for Biden to make his case to the American people. I
highly doubt it.
On whether or not they should give him 4 more years in the White House. He seemed to have listened to that advice and taken it and ran with it there because it was so.
One people you talk to, Bully
really,
Warriors.
Reeked of partisanship, I have to say.
There's no question about that. And I did not get a chance to count the number of times he used the word predecessor and vilified his predecessor. You just don't see this in a State of the Union speech. It's the State of the Union and not the state of the Democrat Party or the state of my campaign or anything. I just think it's going to be a highly criticized speech. And if people were being honest on both sides of the aisle, I think that they saw something that we might not want to see repeated. This is about coming before the American people and giving them the State of the Union, not the state of partisan politics.
Thanks. Brian, to that point, I had asked some of our guests before the speech began whether or not Biden would mention Donald Trump or, would he give allusions to Donald Trump? He didn't say the word Trump. He kept saying my former predecessor multiple times. And I have to remind the viewers, for the 3 years of the Biden White House, the Biden presidency, you couldn't get Joe Biden to say the name Trump, to utter the name Trump out of his mouth. It was replete with references to the former president today in this speech. I lost count, Brian.
Oh, absolutely. And in my role,
I lost count about how many times Kamala Harris stood up.
Everyone.
Oh yeah,
But
I know her
when
knees was
you,
hurting.
witness something
I'm
like
too
the
old
speech
for
tonight,
this.
you realize that
That's why I changed the
that the
title.
State of the Union has become exactly
Well, I
what
saw
these
you changed
justices
the
have talked about.
This
It's
is
a
now the state
political
of
pep
Kamala
rally.
Harris's
And one
knees.
wonders why we
Woo.
go
her
through the
knees is
exercise
screaming like, "Girl, you know you
each
too
year.
old for this. Sit down and clap.
Before
Ain't no wrong with that.
television or radio,
You got to stand up."
it came to the Congress as a message from the president on the State of the Union. It was actually just a yearly report, and it wasn't until the 1947 when Harry Truman gave the first State of the Union speech, and it wasn't even in prime time. It was Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1965 who advanced the State of the Union speech to prime time so the nation could watch it. And now, all these years later, you see that has morphed into what we saw tonight, which was an undisguised political rally.
So, Brian, we are still watching some of these scenes inside the Capitol, of course. So we're going to come on camera for just a moment to introduce ourselves. I'm Andrew Kraft.
They
For all
bounced.
watching,
They got the
and
hell about
live
it.
now here, Brian Sobel
Once
there.
he finishes, all right, time
with
to go.
more political analysis here on the State of the Union address. Brian, to your point about the Supreme Court, the justices that were there in attendance tonight, and I hadn't ever really seen this either. Of course, presidents sometimes bristle and gripe about Supreme Court rulings that don't go their way. Not a lot of times do they kind of directly call them out in a State of the Union. Biden said, with all due respect to the justices sitting there talking about the Roe v. Wade Dobbs decision overturning the constitutional precedent for a woman's right to choose, he quoted some of the arguments, some of the opinions written by Clarence Thomas, written by Justice Samuel Alito. They weren't there as well, but the direct attack on the Supreme Court justices sitting there, of course, they had to remain stone cold, stone faced. I hadn't really seen that before either.
No, it was more like a veiled threat, that things in the United States could change because of the number of women voters and the issues that they are debating. To me, it was unbecoming, but much of the speech tonight, I mean, look at what we're looking at here. The president not only arrived late, it took him forever to get to the podium. And just like in a political rally, you got to say hi and grab and grin with everybody. And now, post-speech, he still hasn't left the chambers. And he's this just has all the makings of a political rally. And again, one wonders about the efficacy of a State of the Union speech if all we're going to watch is a Republican or a Democrat get up there and espouse their party's philosophy, as opposed to getting up there and.
So I wonder what they're doing over on CNN.
Now, with President Biden, he hit on a lot of issues that are on the minds of the American public, but in each case, it was put through a political filter of, his time in office and his predecessor and the future with Joe Biden as president. So it was a really, really unique speech tonight, Andrew.
Yeah, to your point, Brian, the States of the Unions have now kind of become poster boards for your cause, right? I mean,
I'm from Rhode Island. I'll be here. I didn't get you guys up. I was happy you're here, little man.
Did you go to the aisle?
My 12-year-old referred to you as her
She
BFF. She said, oh, it's my BFF.
Do me a favor.
And she said, don't forget to tell him he invited me to the White House.
Why did?
You did. Oh, I know. Well,
Right. Whatever. Let's see what MSNBC talking about.
The power of a skin
Little
film
commercial.
inspires
Little
hair
commercial.
repair. New
Ad
Fructis hair filler system. Vitamin C.
Yeah, I know. Ad blocker. You told me. I didn't listen. You know what it is.
Trust me. I say it's a bunch of free hours you can download. You know,
Yeah, I'm
they got one for you too. You don't want about that BS. Yeah, 4 different blockers.
Set to have an aggressive schedule of campaigning, as it's described to me, beginning tomorrow with travel to Pennsylvania. He'll head out of town again this weekend to Georgia, and he's going to be on the road a lot over the course of the next several weeks. Lester, one moment that I heard while you were speaking to the audience with all of our colleagues just moments ago from the Democrat Jerry Nadler to the president, as Nadler greeted President Biden, he said, "No one's going to call you cognitively impaired." Now, the president recognizing the urgency of this moment, the opportunity to try to deliver a performance that would satisfy the concerns of some Americans who have had questions about his mental and physical health. The White House, and certainly a lot of Democratic allies I'm hearing from right now, believe the president more than met that bar.
All right, Peter Alexander, was one of the questions I posed a moment ago. What is the bar? Because there was this nervousness among Democrats as to how he would do, spin the elephant in the room, frankly. But he obviously feels he did well as he takes his time.
You can almost hear the collective exhale and I dare say almost glee from the Democrats that were in the building to see that punch and that feistiness in this speech. In just a moment, we'll be back and we will have the Republican response to President Biden's State of the Union address delivered by the 42-year-old senator from Alabama, Katie Britt. That's coming up after these messages.
God. It's like, what are you looking at? I don't know what these people are looking at. Oh, they said, oh my God, he more than proved himself. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. That was a lie, and they know it.
But clearly, people grumble, and they grumble loudly.
I go back to somebody kind of trying to make sense.
Again, the State of the Union speech has been hijacked, and it was hijacked many years ago to become more of a defense of a party's position on things, a defense of a president's position on things, somewhat an allusion to what they want. But they're trying to score political points. But tonight was a notable exception or an elevation of that, Andrew. More partisanship, more political discussion, more campaigning from the roster than I've seen in some years. And I think there's going to be some blowback, but certainly not by Dems.
You know, electioneering, sloganeering, full display tonight, Brian, to your point. We're waiting for our viewers just joining us here. Brian Sobel, joining myself, Andrew Kraft, here on Live Now from Fox for all of our post-speech analysis here. And remember, we're waiting for the Republican response, the rebuttal. And that's going to be delivered by Senator Katie Britt there of Alabama as well. So we'll get to that in just a moment. We're going to continue showing you some of these scenes inside of the House chamber. The president is still there, Brian. You know, the president did address kind of tongue-in-cheek, but directly, his age. You know, talking about when he first got to the Senate at the age of 29 from Delaware. People told him he was too young. He kind of juxtaposed that with what people are saying now about his age as well. Still, though, Brian, the president is using the age question to get a laugh line. Do you think he needs to be a little more serious about those concerns? You know, not with the rest of the American people, but his own party, Democrats of his own party.
I think the age question is very alarming to a lot of Americans in the sense that you watched the president tonight. He struggled in parts of that speech, and he's reading. And he made a joke about the age of his predecessor and himself, and put it in the context of, as you mentioned, once being the youngest and now being the oldest.
All right, Brian, we gotta cut you off here. I'm sorry, Brian, we gotta cut you off. We do have Senator Katie Britt there of Alabama giving the Republican response. Let's take this now.
Of serving the people of the great state of Alabama and the United States Senate. However, that's not the job that matters most. I am a proud wife and mom of 2 school-aged kids. My daughter Bennett and my son Ridgway are why I ran for the Senate. I'm worried about their future and the future of children in every corner of our nation. And that's why I invited you into our home tonight. Like so many families across America, my husband Wesley and I just watched President Biden's State of the Union address from our living room. And what we saw was the performance of a permanent politician who has actually been in office for longer than I've been alive. One thing was quite clear, though. President Biden just doesn't get it. He's out of touch. Under his administration, families are worse off, our communities are less safe, and our country is less secure. I just wish he understood what real families are facing around kitchen tables just like this one. You know, this is where our family has tough conversations. It's where we make hard decisions. It's where we share the good, the bad, and the ugly of our days. It's where we laugh together. And it's where we hold each other's hands and pray for God's guidance. And many nights, to be honest, it's where Wesley and I worry. I know we're not alone. And so tonight, the American family needs to have a tough conversation because the truth is, we're all worried about the future of our nation. The country we know and love seems to be slipping away, and it feels like the next generation will have fewer opportunities and less freedoms than we did. I worry my own children may not even get a shot at living their American dreams. My American dream allowed me, the daughter of 2 small business owners from rural Enterprise, Alabama, to be elected to the United States Senate at the age of 40. Growing up, sweeping the floor at my dad's hardware store and cleaning the bathroom at my mom's dance studio, I never could have imagined what my story would entail. To think about what the American dream can do across just one generation, in just one lifetime, it's truly breathtaking. But right now, the American dream has turned into a nightmare for so many families. The true, unvarnished state of our union begins and ends with this. Our families are hurting. Our country can do better. And you don't have to look any further than the crisis at our southern border to see it. President Biden inherited the most secure border of all time. But minutes after taking office, he suspended all deportations, he halted construction of the border wall, and he announced a plan to give amnesty to millions. We know that President Biden didn't just create this border crisis, he invited it with 94 executive actions in his first 100 days. When I took office, I took a different approach. I traveled to the Del Rio sector of Texas. That's where I spoke to a woman who shared her story with me. She had been sex trafficked by the cartels starting at the age of 12. She told me not just that she was raped every day, but how many times a day she was raped. The cartels put her on a mattress in a shoebox of a room, and they sent men through that door over and over again for hours and hours on end. We wouldn't be okay with this happening in a third world country. This is the United States of America, and it is past time, in my opinion, that we start acting like it. President Biden's border policies are a disgrace. This crisis is despicable. And the truth is, it is almost entirely preventable.
Too late now.
From fentanyl poisonings to horrific murders. There are empty chairs tonight at kitchen tables.
I mean, so many people got passed border now. Who knows?
Of President Biden's senseless border
I kind of like what you're talking about, though.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about Lake and Riley.
A little late for that.
In my
being
neighboring
real.
state of Georgia, this beautiful 22-year-old nursing
Well, we all
student
know we're gonna
went
get
out on a jog one morning,
because we all know.
but she never got
We're
the opportunity.
debunking that, and I'm not cutting off. She's really talking about something very, very important. But we have literally watched the state of Kamala Harris's knees disguised as a State of the Union address. Her knees good, country's policies bad. That's the way that I see it.
Man,
If we had policies like Kamala Harris's knees, we'd be in good shape.
yeah, that's true. Fortunately, we don't.
We'd be in great shape. She was literally the applause, the applause sign. She get up, everybody else gets up. That was crazy. They stood up for every stupid ass thing that man said. And good Lord, I don't know what else to think anymore. Let me see what some of our people on the other side is talking about. Let's see. Watch some other stuff. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead. Let's go look at see what we can find. Because this was ridiculous. You know what? But like I said, you braved it with me, man. We literally are stupider now.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
That was some painful shit.
Okay, I couldn't leave my guy here. I couldn't leave my uncle here to suffer alone. Like, no, I couldn't do it.
That was some painful shit. Oh my goodness, that was so painful.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm like, man, I'm gonna stick it out. While I saw Noobs left, I was like, man, he a real one.
Yeah, that was absolutely painful. So we're gonna
that's torture.
Around from that. That was fucking painful. I cannot believe.
I'm gonna need therapy after that.
I cannot believe.
I'm gonna need therapy after that. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, man. Hey, thank you, Blind but See Clearly. Love you too. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much for the cash out. And I promise you, it's going to get great turn. We're working on something amazing here, I think. And I believe that we will change some things, maybe change a few lives. You never know. Because mainly it's about the injustice of everything and everybody. If we gotta get it, we gotta seek it, and we gotta have it. We gotta have a country that's about that life. If we don't, we are so fucked.
Oh, I agree.
We are so screwed.
Trust me, I agree.
And Nisi, I'm trying to get you off of this chat, man. We back.
Man.
I mean, good Lord, this shit is crazy. I'm like, this dude stood up here and gave us a whole 2 big heaping helpings of word salad while coming in late.
Mm-hmm. And then we sitting wasting our time waiting, talking. I'm like, okay.
You need to be running up, but every time he jogged now, he take a little dive. You remember that was his way then, when he first got elected, of not not really he was trying to mask his age.
I know, right? It's crazy. But yeah, that was torture. That was literal torture.
Yeah, we went through the rack on that one, bro.
Man, I might have nightmares.
I'm snapping all. I'm like, he's saying shit. I'm losing my fucking mind. Like, I'm having meltdowns and shit.
Me, trust me. It was bad. It was so bad. It got so bad almost halfway through.
I'm having meltdowns.
Like, turn this game on, play something.
And I'm sitting up here, and I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one because the Speaker of the House is literally having a meltdown inside his body.
He had a meltdown before. He had a meltdown before he came on because he had a meltdown this morning. I heard him this morning on the news. He was on his bike talking to CBS.
What's his name? Mike Johnson?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pull that shit up.
And he was telling them then that he wasn't allowing all of the nonsense, the rhetoric to enter in. And but he said it might not be a lot of clapping on my behalf because I'm not standing for a lot of the stuff that that they're trying to talk about, because the State of the Union is the State of the Union, and I know he's trying to push a whole different agenda, and
he
that's
tried
exactly
to.
what.
That's literally what we watch. You want to say my predecessor this and my predecessor that, and I'm like, he about to blame Trump. You said you heard me. I know you did. I'm like, he about to blame him. Watch. And he
Well,
literally tried to blame him for
he
that
can't
shit.
blame nobody, but he blamed his predecessor, Obama, his instructor.
That's because Obama your predecessor too. Let's not even play with it, brother. You tripping.
We know who running that White House. You just holding the seat.
Keeping that motherfucker flying up in the air.
Because at the end of the day, y'all can't sit here and tell me nothing. Ain't nothing you can tell me when everybody knows that things, and then they want to blame uh, when he came in, when Biden come in, he come in when we was, in the at the beginning of COVID. Dude, don't start that. COVID ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
I mean, COVID was a psyop in order to fuck us up.
Exactly. Really, dude, stop it. And now I don't know if y'all getting these messages telling you that they got the reports that when you taking the vaccination that they're gonna be demanding that you come and take. Ain't nobody gonna demand that I take shit.
Because that's what happened with COVID, man. You lose your job.
You ain't demanding that I take that crap, and I'm not doing that no more. That's over and done with.
To see what you could do to people, that you could violate their human rights.
And they literally killing people. They know what they were doing because they didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Man, that made no sense to take that crap. I'm like, how do wait, fight a virus to build your immune system, right? Why would we take something that doesn't help fight it? What's really the point?
And then they got different strains of it. So they already know whatever they giving you is not working on to fight this virus. So look, I'm gonna die anyway, but I'm not gonna be dying taking no goddamn shots that I don't know what's in it. My aunt that used to work for MD Anderson, she had to take it, and she told us, she said, whatever y'all do not take that flu shot. Whatever you do, don't take that flu shot. And she's one of the lead nurses at MD Anderson, one of the top cancer centers in the U.S. So you telling me not to take the flu shot? These people crazy.
I've never taken one.
I took it and I got so sick and I never took it. And the only reason why I took it because that's when I was working at the prison and I had to.
I'm sorry, but y'all trying to make me take a freaking vaccine just to work, I will quit. Trust and believe. I ain't gonna be working there. It's that simple. I know my job, my current job about to do that. I'm letting them all right now. They playing me.
And I'm telling y'all what God loved. When I took that shot, the first shot I took, I said, okay, it's doing something. I don't know what it's doing. So when I took that second shot, I noticed my breathing got short. I said, oh, hell no. I'm not doing this no more. I'm not doing this anymore. Because you're still going to catch it, regardless if you take the booster or not. You're still going to catch the virus.
Yeah. Me, I just use common sense. Or to fight virus, fruits, vegetables, vitamins, things that build your immune system. It's like we actually have a strong immune system, like far as humans go. We
know what to do.
We have to build it up, like vitamins. Because before COVID started, of course, we went to the grocery store shopping. I saw all junk food aisles, all chips, candy, all that empty. But I was in the no vegetable section, vegetable and fruit section, full.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Don't nobody know what the booster doing. The booster ain't doing nothing.
Like I'm talking one of the older gentlemen. I was telling them, I'm like, these people are really stupid. They don't have no common
And
sense.
if y'all notice, people dying. I mean, young people just falling dead.
Literally, young people, athletes, you name it. Guys that better shape than me and sitting here dying.
I'm telling you, we are in a situation with this dude, man.
I agree. It never made no sense to me.
You sit up here and you do a campaign speech, trash talking the prior president. That's funny as hell.
Like you really came in here and turned it up. You turned it up all right.
You was late as hell. Okay, first and foremost.
Yes, I was wondering. I was like, what the hell going on?
Fashionably late and shit.
Late as hell.
Trying to get them speeches together, he had to get that high first.
His son was over there. Hit this.
and you notice that speech started getting all twisted, and she said, "Let me go sit my ass down."
He got the confidence because he was getting that post nasal drip from that snort. What you mean? Come on, I'm strictly for the streets. I've been in the streets. I know what it's like. That was that post drip. He said, "Pardon me." Yeah. I'm like, yeah, Hunter done gave you a little hit. He gave you a little baggie.
And he done forgot that it's gonna wear off in a minute, so that's why your ass late.
And no more energy after that. He was done. He was done.
And Kamala, she said head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes.
I'm like, Kamala Harris. Knees.
I say, when thoughts changed that title to Kamala Harris knees, I'm like, yeah, it's true. She barely just sitting down clapping. I don't know why she did it herself.
She's the parrot. She was the applause sign.
Yes.
I'm like,
she was a signal manager. When I jump up, y'all jump up. When I sit down, y'all sit.
I'm like,
basically.
jumping up. I was like, this shit crazy.
And Pelosi, she was over there just she know she had her good high.
They knew that they was gonna bring that girl up. But they give him a pen, something right there over there so he can see her name. He didn't even know her name. I bet.
He didn't.
They put something right there. I see right here. Shut your stupid ass up. You ain't fooling nobody, man. You definitely ain't fooling me.
Was Obama them now?
I don't know. All I know, he insulted the whole judicial, the whole Supreme Court. I'm like, you idiot. I'm like, they finna do his immunity shit. And you just insulted them? Wow. Epic. I'm like, come on, dog. And then oh shit, that's how you feel.
We know how, because we know how you feel.
Is that how you feel? Okay. All right.
Great job, baby. Keep doing it. Keep talking. Keep running your mouth.
He didn't quite jackball it like I wanted him to. I was kind of predicting if I could have put this shit on DraftKings, I'd have had to do a couple motherfucking sideways and shit.
But you know what? You better be glad didn't nobody hack the system and change his picture.
Is he gonna bust his ass, man? What's finna happen?
Who knows?
He got the coffin. I know. He got the coffin. I'm like, oh, he about to go down.
Kamala, I had to get them knees ready because she already know when he get there, he gonna be sleeping.
Man, he sleep now. He probably back at the house. He done got his little warm.
He gotta get ready for the morning because he getting ready to travel. He's supposed to be going to Georgia.
Man,
Georgia.
I'm not worried about how great this speech is. This idiot got to get on the campaign trail. Man. and Trump, like, I debate you right now. Let's
Who
go.
was that? Who was that? Passed out? Was that Hillary?
Yeah. Trump
Hillary
ready to go now. He like, I challenge you right now. I ain't okay.
Hillary passed out. She didn't get up right. They gave her the wrong.
And I give you time to study for the debate. Go ahead. I give you 2 weeks of study. We can go in 2 weeks.
Biden's gonna get the stuttering, and then he get mad because he know Trump gonna hit below the belt. He ain't gonna never.
He attacked that man tonight. So be prepared for what Trump gonna say tonight. Trump ain't gonna let the night go through without him saying something, man.
Oh, baby, Trump gonna get him. He gonna get him. He gonna get him with his pants.
I'm telling you, he was late because he had to change that depending up. I had an accident. And that's why Jill left. She was pissed. I'm sick of changing your ass. Have one of the Secret Service. Have one of them do it. I'm sick of this shit. Real. Man. What is that I'm hearing in the background?
I don't know. What is that? What is that?
What is that? Is that you over there?
Oh, sorry, that was me. My bad.
What the heck? Oh my God! Entertain me. I'm like, what is kind of creepy shit?
I need some therapy.
Okay, so
you gonna need more therapy.
We finna get down with Mr. Speaker of the House.
Oh boy.
Were you ever a radio host among your many skills?
I did that for a small time.
That's what I thought. I thought I remembered somewhere. So
He's
you
a
understand what
firefighter,
vamping is
y'all.
all about. And you've got a small TV set. We will thank John Roberts again. Mr. Speaker, thank you ever so much. First of all, thanks for buying us all a cup of coffee this morning. That was a very revealing off-the-record briefing.
Because we needed it for the night.
Only Fox people or people, my friends from other networks. Can I just ask you this? I want to start. I know we should be talking about policy and the rest of it, but I'm saying, or I believe in my heart, look at what I look at, that the State of the Union is not good, that people are not happy. They don't feel prosperous.
Dude, you too old too. It's time for you to go home and go to bed.
To some extent, are fearful because of the immigration problem and the crime problem that goes with it. I mean, it's not a good State of the Union. And you're going to be up there at the podium listening to President Biden. But I mean, how do you sense this too?
I think you said it very well in your riff in the opening of the program, Professor. I think you summarized it well. I think the American people are fed up with weaponized big government socialism, with the open borders that we have in this country. I think they're fed up with a high cost of living and with weakness that we're projecting on the world stage, because they see the effect, the direct effect that this is having on their lives and their families. And families are hurting. You know, inflation is up 17.9%. I saw the stat today. The average American household is paying $11,400 more annually just to make ends meet. You know, household debt is up at a record high. This is not a sustainable trajectory that we're on. And the media asked me over the weekend, somebody said, in one word, how would you describe the State of the Union? And I said, sadly, decline. We're declining in every metric.
He said that
I'm not
this
sure
morning.
This is something that we can continue any longer, and that's why the American people, I think, are going to deliver us a big victory in November.
I mean, the numbers are showing that, you know, traditional Democratic constituencies like Hispanic, Latinos, or blacks, for example, to start with those two, they did better under Trump than they've done under Biden. We've looked at the average weekly wages. I put it in my riff again, but I've written it so many times, my arm and wrist are getting sore. They did better, you know, their weekly wages, they had a pay raise under Trump. They've had a pay cut under Biden. That's not a good position to be in. Now, I'm hearing, we threw this out this morning at breakfast, but now, so Biden wants to solve this problem by raising taxes on successful businesses and entrepreneurs. But the point is, he's losing core constituencies because of this situation.
And he seems to be completely tone deaf about it. I mean, John Adams said facts are stubborn things, right? The facts are on our side. People can look at these things objectively and recognize that they had a better standard of living. They had more security. They had America was stronger when President Trump was in office. I mean, the first 2 years, you were
were there. You're a part of it. We achieved the greatest economy in the history of the world, not just the U.S. And in every demographic, everyone was doing better, and they were safer. They were more secure. The
Sure
crime
was,
not
because
through the
Trump
roof
didn't
as
have
it
no
is in
problem
every
with
community
coming
in
up to
America.
your
The
ass.
border was secure. All these things, and they're looking at that, and they're measuring that. And I think there's going to be a real energy. I think there's a huge enthusiasm gap in this election cycle. I've been in almost 20 states in the last several weeks, Larry, because when we're not in session, I'm flying around the country helping our candidates and my colleagues. It doesn't matter where I am, out west, Midwest, Long Island, or the Deep South. It's the same feel,
Do
the
y'all
same
see
sentiment that is
old
out there in the
Fanny when
base, and I
y'all be
think people are
traveling?
ready to make a change, and that's what's going to happen.
One of your most distinguished predecessors, Newt Gingrich,
That's why I disowned her.
writing about Newt is a very dear friend of mine, mentor, advisor, and so forth. Trump is breaking up the old Democratic coalition because folks have done better under Trump than they've done under Biden. They're now pulling over. You see it with the Hispanic Latinos, but some of these numbers with women, with even college kids, even with African Americans. I mean, this could be a new coalition. Now, Speaker, what is your role? You're piloting the House. You're the North Star. I know it's a thin deck, but nonetheless, you have the political gavel and the political platform. How do you want to play this?
Well, listen, I think that we've got to demonstrate that we can govern. I think we hold fast to our core principles, the things that made America
I'm gonna
the
get in a
greatest, most
position
powerful,
in
most
that White
extraordinary,
House.
most benevolent nation in the history of the world. Those
Please,
things
I
are in
hope you
jeopardy
do.
because there's a rising number of people, and including
I'm not
elected
playing.
members
Y'all
of
think it's
Congress
a
on the other
joke. I'm gonna get
side
in.
who
I'm
are
gonna
trying to
get me a
dismantle the
position in that
foundation.
White House.
That's the
Oh
battle.
no,
It's
no,
not
I
even
hope you
ours
do.
versus D's. It's a battle.
Newt,
Please help
I
us
need
out.
you to
Who
help
we
me
are
get
going to
in a
be as a country
position
going
in that
forward.
White House under Trump.
Literally, he was, and C-Star is not lying. Literally, he was sitting there taking credit. That's why I was over there getting livid. Like,
Trust me.
what are you talking about? Like,
Man, you sound like such an idiot. I'm like, why?
I'm literally over here having a right wing meltdown for real.
I'm like, why am I
whoa.
doing this to myself right now?
Like, hold on, why are you sitting here lying and taking?
Yeah, he did try to take credit for Trump. He know good goddamn well he ain't done
nothing.
shit since he been in that office.
He
But
did
but failed everywhere he went. He failed.
Kamala
Trust
didn't
me.
feel the deep knee bend.
Oh, I can't wait to get out. I can't wait to get out.
Now she know how to do is head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Boy,
Girl, go sit down.
No, too old be doing that.
I'm like, the state of Kamala Harris's knees, boy. I'm like, I can't believe this shit. She is up and down. I'm like, she got them old ass Democrats over there pissed off. Like, if you make me get up one more damn time, lady. I'm 87 years old.
I will laugh so hard seeing them all stand up every time. I'm like, why y'all doing this to yourselves?
Shit, he ain't even saying shit, and y'all jumping up like
Literally, they kept doing that. They kept doing that.
like,
Baby, they happy that they can be bulldoggers and dykes.
And I would make sure that the sun comes up every morning and sets every night and eating. Woo! That ain't even his job. That's God. He's not God. Y'all better have several seats. They're gonna be so mad in November. They gonna cry. They gonna cry.
They gonna they gonna lie. They gonna lie. Because I already know them. I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna lie.
We are really about to catch them in the act of trying to steal an election.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm telling y'all, when I'm telling you, when you go and you ask them immigrants, if you catch them at the border or coming into your city and you ask them when were you born, they're not gonna give you an exact date. They're gonna say January or they're gonna say December, because they've been coached to say that. Because they're going to fill in the date for them. And that's how they get these people in here to vote. And every head, they get paid off of every head. Every head.
That man, literally, we watched a situation where that man didn't really even talk about shit.
He didn't know about nothing. That was a waste of what, 2 hours? hour and a half, something like that.
But the way the man talked this morning and he talking now, this is what Biden do even when they're in session,
He
talking.
literally breezed over what Americans are worried about the absolute most. And what Americans are worried about is that border crisis. It's a crisis. And that's what people are worried about, because not only are we paying high ass prices, now we got to compete for the little part-time jobs that we need for the extra fucking money that we have to get.
Exactly.
Thank you. And I'm telling y'all what, like these, the cleaning business. If you have your own cleaning service and they have a cleaning service, baby, they bid so low to where you say it ain't even worth me even taking that shit. And what they gonna do? Bring in their whole crew, the family, everybody, and then that's how they get these jobs. Like these jobs with these warehouses and these.
Yeah, they be at low so they can be at high.
Yes, and still, like on these contract jobs, I'm saying these construction jobs, that's how they get these big homes.
Materials.
They stealing all the stuff.
And then they making homes rickety and shit. That's deep.
What'd he say?
That's deep. We're here.
Yeah.
And he's saying this immigrant shit is nuts. These ain't immigrants. These ain't immigrants, bro. If you could see what the State of the Union is, just by the energy in that room.
And that's been every time I've seen and heard anybody in the State of the Union, it's always divided. Union means one.
I mean, but it's bad. The State of the Union is bad. We ain't in no good shape. He didn't say nothing about, what we're doing great like that.
He did.
Because he can't.
He went dead at Trump's head. And we can't call his name out. So you're going to have to change his name to predecessor. Whoever wrote that speech.
And if he had kept talking, he'd have said it. Because that hit would have wore off of him.
And the left gonna try to make it about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Everybody, but what it's supposed to be about.
They're gonna try to make it about all of that, and it's not about that.
Did they even have what's her name in there? Did she come? Carolyn, what's her name?
No, I ain't see her. I wasn't looking for her neither.
I'm surprised they didn't have her in there. Like she's somebody that did something. And then what gets me, and I am all woman. What gets me is you want to put all women as though we're all feeling some kind of way because we're not being treated fair. No, women need to know their damn place.
Right.
Shoot. So to me, I'm trying to act like men, knowing damn well they ain't one.
Right.
And then when you get in a position, I'm a woman. No, you should have remembered that you were a woman before you put yourself in a man's position.
Exactly. They want men tell them that, they want to get mad.
You're doggone right about that.
They want to get mad when men tell them that. Like, damn
well. So check this out. I know that we want to get into a lot of different things tonight, and how
not tonight. We ain't doing it tonight.
Oh shoot!
But I don't have the energy.
Hell no.
Yeah, I know everybody been drained after this.
Especially
that freaking State of the Union. Lord have mercy.
Especially after this shit show.
I need therapy
that we just watched. And I ran home to do it, but I'm gonna get to bed early tonight. You hear me? Because since I've started doing these lives consistently, I've been giving you guys every inch of me. I ain't been falling asleep. I've been alert. Who could ask for anything more than an alert?
Hey, I
We both
appreciate
called at 11:29 instead of.
Hello, who is that? Say hi.
JH.
Hello, JH. Oh, is that George?
I don't know. Hey, is that George?
George, is that you?
I appreciate the lives, Unc. Appreciate the lives. I tell you, go back and watch the other one. He's like, y'all had a ball now.
Oh, I'll be checking out Firebrand now, man. That's one of my go-to spots.
I just subscribed.
Firebrand.
George, is that you? George, if that's you, I need you to get us over there at Mar-a-Lago. We need to get to.
You know, and I got some. We gonna have some good things coming up on the channel, man.
All right.
Yeah, we need to get to Mar-a-Lago because I want to be a part of the in crowd. I don't want to be on the outside. I want to be on the inside because it's some things I need. I need said on. I don't want nobody to tell what I need done. I want to tell the man myself. Hear me.
Yeah, I'm like, thank you for putting jobs in Gary, Indiana, sir. Like when we didn't have none, you put a whole boat out there, and I know that black folks is about boats, but y'all went on there and got y'all some paper. Don't even play with it. Don't even play with it. That was a different kind of boat.
And I thank God that he said the first thing he gonna do is drill, baby, drill.
We all got all the fracking in the world. We need to go ahead and get it rolling.
Get it all going right now, not tomorrow, but right now, because everything can't be electric.
My people, oh man, so you know.
Hey, say that again, JH. You say you gonna have what? You gonna do what? Shut the front door. Talk about it, baby. Have not because you ask not.
So you know, we really have. You know, I don't even know what to say. The style of my channel is.
You don't have to say it, baby. It's already been it's been ordained as it goes.
Well, but I mean, you hear my theme song. You know what it is.
Yes.
You know that's
we the people got a voice.
Yeah, you know, and you know, we understand that people will try to come after you because of what you got to say. We watched it in real time.
Hey, and what we gonna do? And we gonna still stand.
Yeah, you know, arms locked, man. You know, and we across America.
Straight all the way, straight
across America, man. This is what we do.
What part do they not understand?
You know, it's something else to start at a point and end up at another point, but you still revisit the other point because it's so important and poignant to what's happening right now. And everything between these two things in a legal aspect are happening at the same time. And anybody
at the same exact time. And they want to act like we are blind, crippled, and crazy. What part y'all? What end of the earth y'all think we come in on?
The Constitution. The Constitution is literally being hijacked.
Yes, and then you just take it, just can destroy a person's rights, constitutional rights.
There can be no removal from a ballot without due process. You can't just say it and make it so. There has to be due process. Whatever that process is, whether it's an impeachment,
and it has to go through the proper channels.
Right. So what are you even talking about? Oh, he engaged in insurrection. No, we living in this. That's the shit that happened to R. Kelly. They made him guilty before he was even and took his shit away from him. And they want to feel. They seem like they want to do it again.
And you're not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
So well, it worked so well.
But now they are getting exposed.
And I'm here to tell y'all what God loves. God gonna expose all of them. And why? Because first of all, I want these people to understand me and hear me clearly. God did not get confused in the beginning. He made man and woman, made woman for man. He didn't get confused in the making. Democratic Party, hear me. That's a lifestyle. It ain't something God did. God didn't make no mistakes.
Yeah, it's a choice.
That's your choice.
It's a choice. I mean,
And it's a choice you're going to have to deal with at the end of
and at the end of the day, we respect choice. I respect your choices. But
don't push your choice on me.
You don't have to wave no flag or be no float or stand on no soapbox.
Special privileges.
You know, get nothing special because you made a choice of who you chose, your preference to be with and partake on a relationship and go down the middle of the road with. You can, you know what, I can accept that. But what I cannot accept is for somebody to sit up here and act like that your plight is the same as a black man. Because it's not.
It's not.
I wake up every day with a skin tone that I can't change. The few things that I can change my clothes. I can change my mind. I can change how I feel about somebody over time. I can also change who I choose to lay down with.
That part.
I can also choose who I want to have a relationship with. That's a choice.
And there are consequences behind every choice, good and bad.
And I respect your right to choose when it comes to that.
But you're not going to force that on me.
But you're not going to make it seem like that you can complain harder than.
This is a civil rights movement. What?
This is not an oppression. No, it's not. You know, and I'm not, like I said, you have to say it over and over again because of the sensitivity level of situations like this. But I'm not knocking what you're doing.
That's between you and your God.
Because it's not what you do. It's how you do it.
And everybody ain't got to know what you got going on.
And if you in a
you to be
relationship
heard.
and you in love, cool. I done seen a lot of people like that, and that's all right. It ain't what you do. It's how you do it. Period.
You getting to the point where you want to force me to tell my child what my child can be, except what? Really?
Not what you do, it's how you do it.
Better ask somebody. Y'all got me confused. All I'm gonna do is tell God about it, and I promise you, I'm gonna win on the end. But I tell you guys good night tonight, and tonight's been great. And JH, I'm waiting patiently.
She gonna be fresh as hell if the feds watch her, I'm telling you.
Hey, you better ask somebody. Hey, I don't play. Don't play.
Oh, yeah, have a good night.
I got business to take care of. I am the woman that's going to speak on behalf of my men. Period.
Right. You know, shout out to D Maps, man, for staying all the way through.
All the way through. Thank you,
You know what I'm
sweetie.
saying? I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, that's tried and true right there. That's a real, you know what I'm saying?
That's a real G, baby.
You know what I'm saying? So
and Uncle Mew sent a message saying he was clocking out. I told him to be safe.
Absolutely. You be safe, safe travels to the house. And we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for everything that they
Everybody love everybody. And if you can, when you can, please support the channel. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Because remember, Biden is the president. So he's trying to take from all of us.
And
he don't want none of us to eat.
They don't be playing. So, you know, since those that jump in late, they don't get to hear my song in the beginning and my mission statement. While we do all of this, then I'm going to allow that to happen because we got to hear a lot of bullshit tonight. So we're going to end it with some real shit. And
good night, sweetie. You be safe.
Right. Good night. Love you much. And y'all
okay. Love you too, baby.
All right. I'll catch you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit. It's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack them all? How long we not gonna make these youngins pull their pants up? How long we gon' keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gon' keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beat stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.